Hello, everybody. Grounding myself here. I decided to go live today to do a special 6/6 timeline, hopping, psychic timeline, psychic mediumship, human design hotline today, all of the above. I have beautiful Amanda, who's in my projector Patreon, that is going to do her reading with me first. And I just have to see what her question is. We're gonna start in a minute with Amanda. Oh, compatibility, okay. Hi, Jenna, welcome. Amanda, just let me know when you're here. And then I will start. Let's see, so this is my Calendly folder. Hi, Jenna, welcome. Amanda. Oh, here we go. Scorpio North Node. Hi, Marie, welcome. I'm good. I'm just waiting for Amanda. So drop your question. And because Amanda signed up for a 7:30 p.m. Reading. So I can answer it either before if she's not here yet, or after. Amanda. Hello, welcome. But feel free to drop it in the chat. Hi, Chelsea, how are you? So for June 6th, the 6/6 portal, if you will, I actually decided to do something a little bit different tonight, and do a $6 psychic hotline. So my usual $12 10-minute readings are only $6. It's basically just like a fun, like nice suggested donation, or actual exchange. So that way I can, I'll answer that in a second. What do you use for natal chart? Do you mean like what website? I use astro.com and AstroSeek. Hi, B, how are you? So for the 6/6, June 6th, welcome to the 6/6 portal. It distills to a 12, which distills to a 3. I'm doing some psychic mediumship tonight for 10 minutes at a time. And then I can do human design readings in the meantime. I didn't change the link for how you sign up. The usual link is 10 minutes, $6 tonight at the link in my bio for a human design reading, TikTok live mini reading sign up. So you guys can follow that link to go ahead and sign up there. And then just drop like a word or a phrase, or if there's something that you want to specifically for me to channel for. I thought it would be a fun kind of break and routine. So I am just going to write a special note in Patreon to let my people know. And then Amanda, that 7:30, I know that we're here. Okay. But yeah, for natal charts, I like to use astro.com or AstroSeek. I find that AstroSeek is a little easier because, hi Devleoh, how are you? Is a little easier because you can go and just go onto astro-seek.com and it's just right there. Whereas, hi Amanda, I just wrote a note to you. Let me know when you're ready, Amanda. But Astro.com holds like it all in a nice archive. Okay, perfect. All right, so I will pivot there. For the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna go and tend to Amanda and read for her. And her question was, she said she forgot her last one. Yeah, curious about compatibility in human design and electro gates. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let me bring up your chart to see what we have going on here. And then I'll show you what I'm looking at so we can, the visual is going to be much helpful for this. Yeah, today has been interesting. It's been kind of like a, I think we're feeling it with the extra activation wherever Taurus is in your chart. And also still like Neptune in Aries, conjunct Saturn in Aries is its own kind of animal. So I'll say that for the time being. But so look at your gates, Amanda, right? So when you're looking for compatibility, right, or ways that you connect with people or work well with people, we want to look at like where you have like basically the human design word for synastry, if you will. That's not like an actual thing that you'll learn through the lens of human design. Hi, Mystic, welcome. Oh, I love that font. I'm just reading for Manda right now. Yeah, I'm literally walking, out of my way, out of the building. Okay, yeah, that's okay. So this will be recorded and I will put it on YouTube also, so it doesn't get lost in the abyss. So everything that I'm saying, if you can only hear like certain words and stuff like that, we'll look at this here. Human design is based on, it's a type of natal chart, if you will. It's if you took like your Myers-Briggs personality test in your natal chart and made one system. Although it's a study of your aura and your energy, not like your direct personality. That's the elevator pitch. But I'm just doing a reading for Amanda as she gets settled for the next 10 minutes. I'm doing a 6-6. There's 6 people here right now. 666, the love and light alignment number, to say the corny spiritual phraseology of it. But I usually do $12 10-minute readings, and today they're $6 for the 6-6 portal. Okay, yay. Okay, you're all ready to go. Okay, cool. So we're looking at projector Amanda's chart right now. The link is in my bio, B. It's Brenna /links, and you'll see it'll say TikTok live mini reading sign up. So when we're talking about electromagnetic channels, we're looking at the way that we connect, or our hanging gates connect with other people. So when you see something like a defined channel, which means that it's colored in your human design body graph, or a defined energy center, that's how you know you have a channel. So color equals definition, or as I like to say, a shield of armor that protects your influence of that chakra or that energy center from other people. So Amanda, for example, right, we see that you have the 6124 channel. If somebody only had gate 24 as what we call a hanging gate, or only gate 61, you come in there with your energy and you create dominance there. That's what we call a dominant channel. Hi, Strolling, how are you? Nice to see you again. Welcome back. Dominance. If we look down here, and somebody has gate 17, which is an Aries gate placement that connects with Amanda's Cancer gate placement of gate 62, gate of details, that's where we create electromagnetic connection or electromagnetic channels. So what I like to say to show you guys the visual, because I'm a visual girly too, is that it's as if we have gate 17 that's grabbing onto Amanda's gate 62, and we're like, we're going to work together. Now, when you're looking at the energy centers, they're correlated to the chakra system. So Amanda's hanging gate is an arm or energy, right, Amanda, that's always trying to grab up to the ajna. So the hanging gate, gate 62 in the throat, is reaching like this, trying to formulate thoughts via words, right? So gate 62 is the gate of details. This is where the rambling comes from. And I love it, where it's like the word vomit of whatever subject you're excited about. I'm good. That's where that comes from. So it's like, how am I going to grab onto this? How am I going to connect with other people who can help me form a coherent thought, specific languaging to help me formulate, yes, that's my opinion. That's, hi, Mégane, how are you? That's my exact thought. That's exactly what I was going to say. That's what a gate 17 person would do for you. Now, if someone had the full channel, right, in that regard, and they have the 6217 channel to create dominance, I am, on top of your gate 62, then you may feel like they kind of rule the show in that area. And that isn't to say that you would necessarily be uncomfortable with that, but it's just to say that like they would kind of take their dial on that energy would be turned up a little bit higher than yours. And that's kind of like whenever people are like, why don't I have this gate or why don't I have that gate? It's not, it's like asking why can't I have all 12 sun signs as my zodiac sun sign? It's like, you know, we were born when we were born and these are our placements. Like there's not, we all have our own gifts for that reason. It's like your gifts are in your channels and your gates and when you enact on them with other people. I decided I'm doing Mégane, a reading for Mégane, a reading for Manda right now. And I'm doing a special because I realized it was June 6th, so 6/6. So I'm doing a $6 like psychically leaning readings for tonight. So it's a little bit of a special, same 10 minutes, but for $6 instead. And these are all getting recorded and put on my YouTube channel, so you guys can watch them back again and again. Is there an area, Manda, that you were looking for specific like electromagnetism or how you were looking to connect with people? Like, are you just struggling to find like, because I know we've been talking about your boss a lot. So I just want to make sure, and Bree, I see you're signed up too. Thank you so much. So you will be next. I probably will start a little bit early because no one booked. Like I'll start in 5 minutes instead of 10 if you're here. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was just something fun that I wanted to do. I was like, I kind of see it as like, I like to help people. So, and I also like to make it affordable. I know a lot of people are struggling right now and just trying to reconfigure finances. So, you know, I'm in a blessed position where I can do things like that to help. So that's always my goal. Well, I met someone a while ago with the same Genius Freak channel. I love that. I don't, but I do have a YouTube channel that I'm building. So that's a really good place to start, Mystic. Although I do have like a pipeline for September to start offering courses, to walk people through like how to read human design. So something to look forward to for all of us, to teach people how to read. Cause I like, hi, it's good to see you, Kritika. How's it going? Yeah, it just like I really like teaching people about it. And I just feel like I've been doing this for 9.5 years. So I have like real life experience where I can like use clients and people as an avatar, which I feel like a lot of courses are missing. Or like they say that they have people, but then I'm like, but where's the picture? Like, not everyone signs an NDA. Yeah, I love that. I love that, Mystic. That's awesome. Yes. But to not distract myself in the last like 4 minutes of Amanda's reading here. Manda, what's interesting? Yeah, you can ask any question. Absolutely. You can always ask a question. Don't feel like you don't have a say. Always feel free. Yes. But your whole Genius Freak channel, Amanda, is on your design side, and it's your north and your south node, which is interesting because something that you wrote in that I saw that I remembered from last time is how your north node in Scorpio was giving you grief. And with your north node in Scorpio, on your personality side, or your conscious side, it's in gate 44. So it's the fear of the past repeating itself. However, on your design side, the gift that you're leaning to with that Scorpio north node, because it stays the same on your design side, in gate 43, which is part of the Genius Freak channel, is the gift of insight. So it's like, okay, I may be afraid of this thing happening again, because if it happened once and it wasn't that great, it may happen again, which is like really annoying advice when you're going through something like really agitating or annoying. But if this person has their Genius Freak channel, the channel of insight or channel of structuring is the government name for it. If they have those placements in black or on their personality side, that can be helpful for you to understand like more consciously what it looks like outside of you. So I like that. I feel like it's so helpful for like bonding. And Sai, I see you signed up too. Thank you. Okay, so Sai signed up for 7:50. So Sai, grab that spot, and then Bree, I'll start you at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's 7:43. So 2 more minutes for Amanda. I'll plug in Sai's info and then we'll get to Sai. I'll probably still be a few minutes early. What a surprise. I'm usually always running a few minutes late because I'm a yapper, as you can tell. But yeah, Amanda, so I feel like there's a huge potential for this person. It just intuitively, it feels like they have it like split. Like maybe there's one on their design side, one on their personality side. That's the visual that I'm getting. And I love it for like, you can just talk for hours with this person. Like it's about the mental intimacy, not just physical. And like that can be romantic or platonic with things like that. So I love that about that placement, because if you look at where it sits, right? Like if I flip my screen around here too, so you guys can see the chart, it's in the ajna to the crown. So these two like mental centers. So it's very cerebral. It's activating your brain, your mind, really connecting from that headspace. And so it's more about like intellect, like communicating what you think about the world. I always like that it's grounded in gate 23 of Taurus. So it's funny, you guys know, like in your natal chart, how like Scorpio is always opposite of Taurus, Gemini is always opposite Sagittarius, Pisces is always opposite Virgo. In human design, not every channel is like that. So what would be a good example? Like Cancer and Capricorn, right? This is a Cancer gate placement, but this is an Aries gate placement. So I thought originally when I was studying human design and I was learning the system, I was like, oh, I wonder if like the gates are opposite each other in the energy centers like they are in astrology, because all of these gates and numbers, Mystic, this is a cheat sheet for you. They all correlate to specific, I'm going through a gate series on YouTube right now that's teaching you all the degrees throughout the transits of the year with all the gates, but they are specific zodiac signs. So Amanda, for you, we have your North Node on your design side, right? In gate 43, that's connecting with Taurus. That is a good like auspicious aspect, or if you will, or more harmonious than some of the channels in human design. Although it doesn't always feel like that, it's like one of my favorites. My energy is really good for helping you to ground, in the sense that like I can help you put action towards your manifestations for what you think about and talk about, because this is a pressure, and as you probably guessed, because it's the throat center, a communication center. So Ajna is a pressure center where you feel the pressure to think about something, to share your revolutionary insights. And then that Taurus gate 23 is what grounds it. What else? Do you have another gate 44? I was thinking about that also. No. Yeah, just your gate 44 and your personality side for your North Node. What about, yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, amazing. Yes. And gentle reminder that I am on Mystic. Okay, awesome. I am going to be recording these and putting them on YouTube, so that way you guys can watch them again and again. My YouTube is the same handle. It's just Brenna's here. There is somebody that's Brenna's sphere, but you'll notice me because I have the red, same picture. So if you type in like Brenna human design, I'll come up, or just go to the link in my bio. But yeah, Amanda, I mean, I really like when it comes to like synastry for you, like if you had somebody with gate 38 that helped you to kind of just like lean into your sense of time. Gate 54, it's actually a Capricorn gate placement. So Capricorn can be very grounding for you, but it is equally, hi Alchemy, it equally is as destabilizing when it doesn't work out well. So that's why like your Capricorn boss, like if they were in alignment with what they were doing and who they are, it would be amazing. But since they're not, it feels awful, right? So looking at like the electromagnetism, like we can only meet and enter into relationships correctly when we follow our energy type strategy and authority. Just knowing that it's always going to be a little bit awkward when we don't enter into relationships correctly. And it just feels like uncomfy because we didn't listen. Like if you doing a job just for the money, like of course you're going to be uncomfortable at that job. But like we live in a capitalist society, like it takes money to make the world go round. But yeah, Amanda, so let me know if you have any follow-up questions about that. Obviously, you know where to find me if you want to drop it in Patreon after you have time to sit through your emotional wave. Or if there's any other things that have popped up. I have like a 3 minutes before I start Psy officially, but if you don't have any questions, I'll start early. So let me put in Psy's chart. Actually went to college with a woman named Psy. She was very sweet. I see I have your birth date, but I don't have your, if you want me to put in your chart as well, I can do that. But if you just want psychic mediumship, just let me know. And then, because your question was, is there a reason why right now I can feel my manifestations coming in like today? And I love that. That's a great place to be. Like you feel super optimistic, you're saying? Okay, Amanda, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I see that. Okay, let me see. Go. So, okay, can see that you accepted the confirmation. Oh, here we go. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Never mind, I got it. Devleoh, thank you so much. I see you signed up too. Okay. Go here. Okay. I have my Calendly filter on, so that'll make it easier. So I will say this. Yeah, but like I can feel it and see it like any day it can happen. I love that. So what happened and what was being activated or is being activated for you right now is that Venus just entered Taurus today. So that creates good grounding roots to your Scorpio sun, no matter where it is in your chart, because Taurus is all about grounding and stability, specifically in gate 3, which is the gate of ordering. So gate 3 in human design, where Venus is right now. And the moon is in Scorpio too. Yes, thank you for that reminder. Oh my gosh, yeah, I should bring up my chart of the day so I can look at my other aspects Friday. Yeah, I was like, what day is it? Friday? But all that to say, for your chart specifically, Sai, it's like this, like, oh, okay, this just feels, hi Jesse, exciting, lighter, a little bit sexier. You know, we're kind of allowing ourselves to grow into like being able to luxuriate in our manifestations, meaning that there's a more expansive but stable energy of like, wow, I've wished for this so much that like I'm not afraid anymore of, hi Afro, of if or when it's gonna happen, right? What's interesting, right, is that specifically for the the moon today in gate 28, it's leaving gate 28. It was in gate 50 earlier today, but gate of the game player. So there's almost this helpful sacred energy for you that's with your moon conjunct, or the moon conjunct your sun. Thank you, Devleoh. That it just feels expansive, right, is the best way I can say it. It's illuminating your comfort in being seen and being known for something, or just being like, okay, like my manifestations, even if I don't have to be front and center, like I'm still gonna get the recognition that I deserve. Venus transits, I believe, are like about 7 weeks long. I don't know if we have a retrograde during this time. I haven't looked at the ephemeris yet. Hi Dee, hello, welcome back, welcome back. I just started, so you'll be here a little longer. But yeah, the sense is whenever we have Venus in Taurus, it's comfy there. So there is a sense of light and levity. Even I feel like there's probably a little bit of like emotional hangover, or just like the exhaustion of the week catching up to you as well. That's also something that you're going to be dealing with. So it's like excitement, but like also like, okay, I know I'm excited. I'm getting things in order, gate of ordering, but I can't defy my limitations. I said this in my energy, update of the day. I do an energy of the day, the human design way, little video every day here on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram. And the exalted aspect of this placement, which is what it sounds like and intuitively what I feel you're leaning into, is like, oh, okay, like I know that like everything is happening in its time. I'm ready any day now. How can I hold the container, right? There's a super important aspect, especially if going back to your chart, of not hesitating, right? This also comes from being a projector. I literally, no retrogrades, yes. I literally made a video that's coming out tomorrow all about projectors for you guys, because I attract so many of you, and I'm like, I'm doing my damn manifesting generator due diligence to like help my projectors. D, Devleoh, Strolling Sai, you have that too. Yes, Venus will square Pluto early next week. Yes, thank you for sharing that. So when we're in that container, right, as projectors, a big thing that I go into more detail about tomorrow is like I screenshotted a bunch of, I'm getting ahead of myself because I can feel like the excitement of it. But I screenshotted a bunch of comments that you guys have left on my projector videos, which is how you find me. Yes, we feel recognized. I love that. Thank you. Afro, yes, you too. So many projectors. I love that. But I will be editing it tonight to post it tomorrow. But I was helping Devleoh with this, and Devleoh, I actually mentioned you in the video as my shining example. So thank you for commenting yesterday. But that a big thing that you guys deal with is feeling resentful, sigh, for like the invitation's not coming, right? Or not coming the right way. What has to happen is that, you're in this expectant, active waiting of receiving an invitation. Waiting for the invitation doesn't mean that you're just sitting there like this. Like, it means that, like, okay, while I'm waiting, I have shit to do. I actually have to get stuff in order. Like, if I want people to book me for this thing, how do I create, like, more structure, more flow, a nice way, not forgetting, especially as a spiritual entrepreneur or just doing something in business with people, that, like, you have, yeah, exactly. There you go. Systems are important, right? But you're in that space, right? So it's like you can hold room for the system, exactly, to be properly prepared. Because what happens, and I've had this happen with my projectors, one that's in my 8-week accelerated program now, Z is her name, and she talks about human design all the time. And so we're helping create like her offer. She has a couple other things going on simultaneously in business, all with the woven red thread. But I use her as an example for you, Sai, because what we're doing is, she was at the gym and she was talking about human design, right? And she had somebody and 3 people that at a random bar that she was at and at the gym that were like, oh, I would love to book you for a reading. And she was like, okay, yeah, sounds great. But she didn't have a way for people to easily, that felt energetically aligned aesthetically for her to book people. So a big thing that I say all the time, especially when you want to be taken seriously as a projector, because you guys are really light, like we can see it in D's energy, like capital letters, the star, the exclamation points, like that jovial energy, like that is beautiful. But there's a level of business acumen that also has to come, hi Samantha, with refinement. And that's not to say, right, that you have to lose those qualities about you. But like, what is it? Okay, you're like, I know that it's coming. I'm a projector. I see that it's going to happen any day now. But what are the last little inklings and things that I feel that I need to really solidify saying yes and being able to hold open the sacred container for this so I can incorporate it sustainably, and this isn't a connection that I sabotage, because that hesitancy is where you can lose people, where it's like, I haven't figured it out yet, it's not perfect. People don't see that as much as you do. Not to say that you should forego that, because that's part of your projector specialty side, but it's like really paying attention to like, oh, but when I go to a resort and somebody, I pay for the Four Seasons Orlando is what I was gonna say, just because of that baby video, but like the Four Seasons, I expect to have a certain level of care put into the facilitation of that, because I've invested in this experience, right? So that like you have that, like you're not like, you're calm, cool, and collected. It's like, it's giving sexy, it's giving like aloof and detached in a good way for your placements. Like people shouldn't feel like, it's okay that people may be a little intimidated by you, right? Like that's a good thing. And you may feel like, ooh, this intimidation is actually not a bad thing. It's like, they should be afraid of how much they love me sort of thing. It's like a healthy kind of like, okay, let me proceed with caution. And I know that like, I'm not just going to jump 2 feet in right away to this person. It's also knowing, yeah, it feels that way. I get it. I get it. Like, let us collaborate on this thing, especially being a creative person in business. Like, I think the best thing for you, if I had a suggestion practically, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, 1,000%. Okay, amazing, Mégane. Thank you so much. Perfect. But yeah, exactly. I feel like we could just mic drop it at that, Afro, right? Like if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Preparation is key. Exactly. And I think it's like, that's where the projectors are like, well, I just should get paid to exist, and you should. But there's also things that just go into like building your reputation that also helps you with referrals, which is super important for projectors too. Because once you get in like 3 people, it's like things happen in threes. Like those referrals are just like cake, it's like, it's so easy for them to be served to you, where people know that they get a certain caliber of energy and work, because you're in the active anticipation of it. Like for me, like I've studied human design for 9.5 years. Like I've been around for a minute. Hi Devor. I've been around for a minute in this world, and so it took me a while to figure out like what way I wanted to do it. I was working other jobs at the time. But I knew that there was a certain level of refinement, because waiting to respond, right, or responding isn't completely different from waiting for the invitation, but it's self-proactivity versus like feeling like you have to go out and pitch yourself to people. But you just showing up and sharing what you know, in whatever way that looks like for you, Sai, like in person or online. It's like you kind of are just, I would love for you to say something along the lines of like, okay, universe, like I feel you, I see you, like show me who you've got looking out for me today, or show me who is the aligned invitation today. Give me the aligned invitation today, or like where can I go? Like intuitively lead me to to the person that I meant to meet today that's going to give me that formal invitation to help my manifestations come to fruition. And then think critically about like who are those people, those places that, thank you so much. Those people and those places that allow like for the element of sparkly surprise. It's like they still keep it fun, because remember, like the things that we're doing are supposed to feel fun. And I mentioned this yesterday from Pam Gregory, where it's to the effect of like pursuing your joy right now is like the best radical act that you can do. Like, hi Angel, it's the best thing that you can do for yourself, to know that like your manifestations are coming. It's not crazy, and that there are people who will continue to live in the love and light aspects of how we feel right now. And yes, you can be 100%. Just feel free. That happens all the time. But to live in that space. So I'm excited for you, Sai. We're holding the container where all of your manifestations coming to you. I have chills on my left arm, which is the physical affirmation that I always get for like it's happening. So we're holding the vision for you. Oh, perfect. Louis Tampia. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And B, I'm bringing up your chart, B. Did I? Let me see. Okay. I was like, did I put you in yesterday? But I did the channeling for you yesterday. It's funny because we were talking about Britney Spears yesterday for you, and now when I read your name, oh, you're also a Brenna. Oh, I love this. Okay, that's amazing. Aw. I love that. Brenna's Unite. Yes. Yeah, absolutely, Afro. Thank you so much. Wow, so we're both Brennas and March babies. That's hilarious. I love this. So we're basically just the same person, and like literally a few days apart. Oh, and I need your 8:30. Okay. Yeah, may I have a basic reading to better understand my energy, or whatever you feel sticks out? Okay, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So let me pivot my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. And then I have Mystic, Devleoh, Kritika, and Mégane all in a row. So just so you guys know. And then if anyone else wants to sign up, I believe there are still spots available. It's $6 today. So if I look at your chart, right? So when we're looking at your human design body graph and grounding in, hi Twadiki, the basic energy, the first place to always look is your energy type, strategy, and authority in human design. So when I'm looking at being a manifesting generator like you are, right? You and I are both manifesting generators. I look to the specific channel of that makes you a manifesting generator. So when we get the bird's eye view of your human design body graph, what are we looking at? Hi, Jay. All of these shapes and colors here are called energy centers, and they correlate to the chakras. You'll notice in front of us that there are 9 chakras versus the traditional 7. And it also, hi, Jay, thank you. Because human design follows the Hindu Brahmin chakra system. So what happens, to take it a step further, when we're looking at all of the numbers that sit inside all of the energy centers, those are called gates in human design. And those numbers mean that you have, hi Trick, specific gifts that come from specific astrological placements or coordinates in your natal chart in tropical astrology. I know I'm giving you a lot of information, but this is recorded again so you can listen to it again and again. And so those specific gate placements lie within a 5-degree window. So you and I have a gate 63 personality sun in human design because we're both born during the same week of Pisces season, right? Being Pisces suns. So specifically for us, we're looking at, what is our degree window? I have to remember this. Ooh. I have my cheat sheet. Yeah, 11 to 17 degrees. So you're almost at like a 17 degree, probably a 17 degree, maybe 16, but probably 17 degree sun. So in human design, that gives us specific gifts that you possess. Now, when I'm looking again at your body graph, right? The next thing that I look at, as any good human design reader should, is where there's areas of color, aka definition. Hi, Jay, welcome. Or little shields of armor that protect that energy center from influence from outside people. So it's like little pings, right, that you can get where like no one's going to infiltrate the way that you speak, your belief in yourself, or your gut. They may get you to jump in with 2 feet. When they say jump, you say how high. And then after you're already doing the thing, you're like, why am I running with them? I didn't want to do that. Emotionally, things can be pretty overwhelming for you. Right, my Scorpio moon sees your Capricorn moon. Splenic, very intuitive, right? Especially when we have this combo of 2 energy centers open or undefined. That's where you're more open to, yeah, right? you're open to influence from other people. So that's where we see that, right? Then, yes. Hi, Moonflower. Hello. You and I also have a couple channels in common. So we have the Manifesting Generator channel. It's on your design side, this 3420 channel. It's like this for me too, where it's completely unconscious. So grasping the concept of how to operate in my manifesting generatorness took me a little bit of time. Like I always say, I studied human design and practiced it myself for like 4 years before I ever taught anybody else about it. Because I needed to make sure that it worked for me and that like I actually understood it and it felt good. And so a way that I did this was I was like, okay, I heard manifesting generator and I heard the definition, quote unquote, with a multi-passionate, multi-hyphenate people who are here to do and accomplish many different things. And I was like, awesome. I can have 3 jobs at one time and I can do 84 things at one time. Yeah, there you go. And I was like, great. Now I'm fucking burnt out and exhausted and I hate my life. What the hell is happening? This is supposed to make me happy. And I was like, okay, great. So like, what am I doing wrong? And so I was like, oh, this means that I'm going to do a lot of things. I just can't do them all at the same time. Silly manifesting generator brain. Like that's exactly where my mind went. I was like, I'm going to hear what I want to hear, not what reality is, right? So I'll look at you while I'm saying this, right? The 84, it's so real. Like it's so real. And listen, I'll still try, but you can do many things, but there has to be like a common thread. So like I am Brenna Keeley Human Design, but see how like I do YouTube live, I do TikTok live, I do in-person events, I do online events, I do Patreon. What else do I do? In-person readings, one-on-one readings, mentorship. It's all under the same umbrella, but it allows me to try things out of the spiritual buffet where I don't feel super locked in. And then I'm self-employed, so I'm able to say like, hey, you know what? I want to take the month of July off. My calendar is blocked off, right? Like I've built that again over time, but that took me being serious about saying, you know what? I'm a manifesting generator that's going to do many things over my lifetime, but I have to turn the dial up to like 110, maybe 184 for the sake of the number, to focus on what I'm going to focus on and have it be successful now, because it allows us to see all the things that happen underneath that. Thank you, Trick. All the threads of the tapestry to make it really refined. And when you do that, it allows you to learn the lessons and the cycle of that thing or that subject that you want to teach that you know really quickly. So it won't like you can, that what the first hung up that I really experienced as a manifesting generator, like in the beginning of my experiment, was that like I was so nervous to just commit to one thing and put all my eggs in one basket, because that's what I was telling myself it was doing, when it really just allowed me to be fully obsessed with that one thing, because we have a lot of obsessive traits healthfully in our chart, Scorpio North Node 2 and Jupiter, where we could dive right into it, figure it out. And then I'm like, oh, I know so much more now in, 6 weeks than I would have known, 6 months from now, had I tried to done all these things simultaneously. So you, like me, it'll help with that. Got you. I reform culture. Oh, I love this. Oh my God, yes. I reformed culture in corporate businesses. My session has definitely been helping. I love that. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. I love that. I've done that for a couple. I did that for a law firm and a med spa, like behind the scenes, loosely using human design and like teaching people their energy types. So we're like same methodology or same mindset because we're the same person. What I also love, right, and what comes with that is the only other channel that you have in your body graph is the 1/8 channel. Yay, that's exciting. Oh my God, what great like services for you to provide. I love this. I love this. I feel like go for the IVs if you can, now that you have one university, if it isn't an IV already, but like that also gets you into a big, like in a big way. Even like educational. Oh, hi Afro, I see you signed up too. Educational consultants maybe too. I was also thinking of this place called Bellworks in Homedale, New Jersey, with you in mind. But yeah, Boston. Oh, I love that. Yes, Harvard. We're holding space for Harvard for you. What is it? The Bulldogs? Harvard Bulldogs, I think. Go Bulls. Go Bulldogs. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love Boston. It's such a great city, especially for our Irish roots, right? That 1/8 channel of inspiration, is what makes you inspiring to other people. So like, it's okay to be the best at what you do. It's okay to be really known for like whatever's amazing. Yay. Okay. Perfect. Afro. Yes. I see that. Perfect. So yeah, like really leaning into that, also super helpful. That's 2 Scorpio placements combined, your Jupiter, in gate 1. And then we have your South node, or I should say, excuse me, another Scorpio Taurus combo, gate 8. Your South node of really feeling grounded in what you contribute to other people. The last couple of things that I'll say, as I pull up Mystic's chart here, is that allowing yourself to really feel grounded in responding. So like you are responding every single day when you're waking up. That's how your aura knows what to respond to. Like, I know that sounds silly, but it's like you wake up, you're like, do I want tea or coffee? Do I want to eat breakfast here? Or do I want to wait till I get to work? Like, what does that kind of look like? And then following your gut instinct is your authority. Those are the big 3. Everything that you can learn about your sacral authority, your energy type, and your strategy is what's going to help you like so much. So that helps all the other domino effects of everything else that you do fall into place. So that way you can feel like, okay, I got a good sense of my energy. So yeah, with it. Oh wait, I just saw with it. There you go. Let me see. Maybe I missed a part of that. Yeah, but anyway, if you have any questions, you know where to find me, fellow Brenna. That makes me so happy. And I'm going to pivot over to Mystic now for the next 10 minutes. I'm like 60 seconds behind schedule, but that's better than a few minutes after. So I record these Mystic also NB, so they'll be on YouTube. Again, little housekeeping plug. Yeah, whatever you would like it to be about, I'm open, wherever the wind takes us. But yeah, Mystic, so you are also a manifesting generator. So all of the things that I shared, as you know, for B here, my fellow Brenna, applies to you, right? So when we're looking at your circuitry, right? And you're also right on the cusp of very early degree Pisces, in astrology with that gate 55, it's like really responding to what makes your spirit feel lighter and more energized. Yeah, let me know, Mystic, did you have questions around psychic mediumship? Are you the Moonflower Mystic, I'm assuming? Because it's your first time if I'm doing psychic stuff, but not for human design, just so I make sure that I have clarity on your question too. I'm like, do I recognize the email? Is the email the same? But I didn't off the top of my head. But I can channel for you too if you want me to do a little bit of that. I mean, I do anyway, just because it's who I am as a person. I can't really help it. But if there's clarity for that. But oh, this is okay. I'm not into psych mixed up. Okay, energy, emotions, astrology. Okay, perfect. Do I give the usual the link for TikTok at the link in my bio. But yeah, you also have your manifesting generator-ness. Yeah, especially it's in your design side, in your incarnation cross. I'll pivot in a second so you can see my my screen here. So it's funny, my fiance's Cuban, and his grandmother just passed away, and we were talking about Hialeah today. So it's like that's where they moved to when they first came to this country. But yeah, so, I mean, energy in terms of like, do you want to know how to navigate your energy type better? Do you just want to understand like the astrological components? Because it'll help me refine. Yeah, I had a feeling. I can just tell. That's why I mentioned it. Yeah, because that Aries moon is like where you're like, I don't care about that. I just want to know what I want to know. So that's why I'm asking you that now, so I don't get into like talking for 2 minutes and you're like, I don't want to hear this. I want to hear something else. But if there's anything in regards to that too. Okay, I want to be able to use my emotions as a guide in my life to help others. Yeah, but I can't help. Yeah. So this is important. Well, I'll look at you like saying like this. I can't help others until I'm confident in my own. Your gate 45, I think I said Aries, but Gemini. It's like every time you get new data or new information is where we're looking at, I'll just say this just for housekeeping, Devleoh, just while I'm reading for somebody else, I find that helpful and thank you for sharing that. But I'll get to that not when I'm reading for somebody, because it'll distract my train of thought and I'll start thinking about something and then I can't continue through with clarity, just for some housekeeping. But the gate 45 is all about it's literally the gate of the gatherer and helping to direct people. Gemini gate placement, we experienced it. I think it's actually being activated tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be, because I released my gate 45 video today on YouTube. So tomorrow we're in the second line of the gate of the gatherer sun transit. So the sun is illuminating your moon, which is where we're also looking at your emotional world, what lies beneath the surface. And in Gemini, or with any good Gemini placement, it's what gives you that vitality, that emotional prowess, but also that emotional like light and levity. And so when we're leaning into that, right, and that sparkle, right, and really shining and illuminating there, we want to pay attention to where that sparkle attracts others, but we need to feed it. We need to give it light. We need to put like more logs in the fire. What happens and what can help you, because you have a completely undefined, thank you, Devleoh. Hi, DeAnna. An undefined G center, which I'm going to pivot here. This is where you have a hard time regulating your emotions from other people. So when you feel an overwhelming sense of really being intuitive about other people's emotions, this is where you start to get lost in not knowing what's yours and what somebody else's. And in certain aspects, it's like everything that you feel, because you are a very intuitive person, is always a little bit of somebody else's stuff, right? It's like you kind of have to ask yourself, like, whose shit is this? Like, where is this coming from? Are they earthbound? Are they on the other side? Like, is it my neighbor next door? If I live in a apartment complex or something like that, you really want to pay attention to that. That's what's going to help you to feel that sense of confidence. If you ask yourself, you literally can say like, whose shit is this, or where is this coming from? And that's going to immediately help also your Aquarius Mercury. I have an Aquarius Mercury too, of being like, what do I need to know right now? Like, what is actually happening right now and where is this coming from? Also, like, I don't know if you scribble or have a little bit of like a process or some kind of organizational flow around that, but that's also going to help your gate 5. So it's like, okay, I have a structure, I have an order. That's what your gate 5 really likes. It's specific to you. It's going to be very like organized for you, but you have to come up with some sort of methodology that helps you as a mystic to follow that path, right? So knowing that you know that you want to help people with emotions, right, to guide your life, but you can't help others until you're confident in your own. It's like that kind of like the mystic method, if you will, is what's going to help it draw it. How do I word this? Well, I'll show you a visual because it's going to be helpful, because I always use my chapstick or my lip gloss as an example. The method that you create to walk people yourself first, it's like do one yourself, teach one to someone else, walk through it. You have your method out here outside of your emotions that you walked people through this thing. You walk yourself through it first, right? So you're like, I'm feeling overwhelming anger or agitation. Okay, maybe step 1 in my method is identify the emotion. Then where do you go from there? I don't have to give you like that full outline, because I know that that's your jam. That's where you'll thrive, because you have that in you already. So, but it just has to make sense for other people, right? It just has to be logical. It has to be some sort of path. And even if like the logic is that it isn't super logical, that can be data too, where it's like maybe you just have 3 bullet points when you walk people through a session and teach them how to go about it that way. That can also be helpful. So that alone, super regulating. Also, right, because when we're looking at that, you're a manifesting generator with an emotional authority. Specifically, Mystic, I want you to look through or look up the 3955 channel and all you can learn about that. A great place or resource that I'll teach you is the definitive book of human design. And so that will help walk you through your specific, exactly, 3955. Gate of provocation meets your sun sign. That is the specific channel that makes up your emotional wave. There are 7 emotional waves in human design. I think there's also something to be said, like maybe I can even create like some courses or content for you about all of the channels of the emotional wave. I can even do that on YouTube, because those are all different ways that people process their emotions. Hello, welcome, thank you. Process their emotions if they're an emotional authority in human design, but not everybody processes their emotions that way specifically. It's just the human design kind of like cheat sheet lens that I could give you. I'll mention them now so you can also look them up. The 1949 channel, the 4130 channel, the 596 channel, the 4037 channel, the 1222 channel, and the 3536 channel. So that's also all of the other ones that we can look at that will tell us. I think it's about like 45 to 50% of the population that are emotional authorities, but that's also kind of like another, if you were to use a method or kind of a tool that already exists that you could adapt to your modality, that's a really good place to start. And you start by looking at your gate 39, your 55. Gate 39 is your Saturn, Cancer Saturn, gate of provocation. So yeah, you're welcome. And if you want me to start, I can put that on my calendar for next week, probably next weekend. I was gonna do a manifesting generator video for Saturday, but maybe I'll do the 3955 instead, or at least maybe I can get to both and I'll do both, but I'll prioritize that for you on YouTube. I just say YouTube just because I can talk longer. I don't like to get cut off in TikTok's like length. So if I go over, yeah, so I'll do that for you. Same handle. And then this will be over there too. So I will leave you with that for now before I totally overwhelm you with any more details. And I know that like, I was saying this often, like you don't need the inspiration. You just can keep going. So yeah, I support that. Yes, the gate 39 stellium, 1000%, 1000%. And then I'm pivoting over to you, Adonis. Let me go here. Oh, my contacts are drying out on me. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Yeah, I honor you and your divine ancestors. To please provide me with some intuitive insights that will help me with these transits. Gratitude in advance. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Afro. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mystic. I appreciate your trusting me and just meeting me for the first time here. That means a lot to me. Oh, I know, as they pop out of my eyes from being dry. Oh, but Devleoh, I feel like there's so much pressure in my chest that I feel also of like, you need that creative outlet. Like you deserve to shine, right? And like deserve to be heard. And I feel like that's why I'm especially a stickler for my projectors, because you guys are so helpful and are seers, but like your energy gets squashed in places like this where like you should also be consistently out there and promoting your expertise. Like we need you to be the seers in a more public way. And it's like, I keep thinking of Lee Harris when I think of you. Like there's an opportunity for like going on tour is like the best way I want to describe it. Like for the summer, like really coming up with like your places and your routine and your schedule and like consistency, which is also going to help your gate 5. It's in your design side. So it is like transformation in that. Yeah. Promotion for me works best with word of mouth. Yeah, absolutely. And that can be perfect. I think there's just like, even if you don't promote the schedule, like there's also an opportunity for knowing it in your head. So like, even if you don't have to, like, I don't want you to be worried about feeling like you have to go around and be like, okay, now I have to post this announcement on Instagram and then on TikTok and announce it. Like, again, you're the talent, right? So the talent isn't always like Sabrina Carpenter isn't the one that's going up and posting every single place that her single was going to be released today, right? It's like she has a team that does that for her. For you, it can be your spirit team, right? To your point of like promotion for me works best with word of mouth. And that makes sense, right? That's where it's like you are indirectly getting the invitation, just projector 101. But I feel like there is a huge, beautiful potential for you knowing some sort of routine, even if it's in and of itself that there isn't one. Or it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, exactly. Automation with the logistics. I love that. I think just leaning into that more is where it holds the container a little bit more for expansion for you. And people knowing that as a channel and a guide, that they can rely on you as a reliable source. It's interesting because a lot for my projectors have come up today. I feel like sadness or like tightness here in my chest. I don't know if anxiety has been a thing or you've been dealing with other people's anxiety, or I say like OPS, like other people's shit. But it feels like that kind of like, I don't know. I think also you're probably feeling Jupiter entering Cancer for you, right? As a Cancer stellium, which is also a big time, like being like, oh, I'm a little activated. Like, what am I activated by? And maybe it's yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah. I was overwhelmed earlier with OPS. Yeah. And being like, I'm the talent. I'm not bothered before it's showtime. Like, I think again, like leaning into that like quality of like letting people be intimidated by you, because it's not, you just carry yourself in a certain way. Oh, you have Saturn and Taurus in the 8th. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so there you go. And then Venus being right there, it's like, okay, I have to be disciplined about luxuriating when it comes to spirituality, sex, drugs, rock and roll, you know, like all the above. Like, I have to be careful using those vocabulary words on here. But that's like the 8th house stuff. I always say it's like the things that we do behind closed doors. And that's what I picture. It's like, you know how like, you know, when you see a religious priest, you know, or somebody that's in, DeAnna, in that space, right? When they're showing up, they all week, they only perform one day a week at service, right? And then maybe if they're in the Catholic Church, they do communion, or they do, you know, a couple, confirmations or baptisms on Saturday, and they're really only working 3 days a week, with people, right? But there's this, I see like these like dark, like wooden doors, also like swinging doors. I'm picturing like, the church that I was at, which is actually a converted restaurant. So I don't know if that applies in any regard, but, there's power, like the preparation is your power. The preparation is that active waiting and anticipation of the invitation. But like, it's not like you don't have any invitations right now. I don't feel like that's exactly the issue, but it's like, you know, that you can just like, you're ready to hold the container for more, right? It's like, I'm open to that. Again, I just need the logistics. I just need to feel like I know what I'm doing. What's interesting, what I was just called to like look at, what called to me is your design sense is inner vision. So that's where like the meditation, the closing your eyes. I also have to close my eyes sometimes because I'll start to get distracted by comments and stuff like that. And it breaks my flow. As you know, as you just saw 10 minutes ago, it like breaks my train of thought and I lose that connection to my like source as well. So I'm like, okay, I have to like inner vision. How do I feel on the inside? How do I kind of ground myself? Especially having an undefined root. So important. Oh, wow. I used to have to go to church 3 days a week. Oh my gosh. Now it's like, you can create your own structure of that, right? Like that's a lot. 3 days a week is a lot. And I think like there's always that power in the community of that, which is really beautiful, but it's like you have to almost like create your own church in some way, where it feels like that. I just always feel like a lot of like sacred energy around you. It almost feels like androgynous angel quality too, like that kind of like, where like angels are otherworldly, like they're androgynous because they're not really human, and focusing on that. Yeah, if we're looking at Saturn in your 8th and then it's like also bringing more grounding and stability to your spiritual practice. Like maybe there's a way that you write out like what your usual flow is, similar to what I said to Mystic, like an opportunity for, really leaning into that. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so funny. Andromeda and Starseed. Oh, I love that. See, and this is where like, I always say this, where I'm like, I am a manifesting generator, so I feel so much more human. I have to write that down. Andromeda. I haven't done much like looking at all that kind of stuff, like into that. That makes sense. Yeah, heightened sensitivity, strong intuition, express their emotions genuinely, for sure. Oh, I love that. That's like exactly what we were talking about yesterday. That's so cool. Ooh, yeah, something that just popped up that I was saying, I forget to who yesterday, but like there's an Insight Timer. Look into Insight Timer if as a potential earning portal for you. But 5D Ascension exercise, it's like a meditation that somebody created. It is 23 likes, so no 23 means something to you. But yeah, I also see from Reddit from a month ago, Andromedans, it provides a system-based belief structure that allows for full belief access across the spectrum of reality. That's so interesting too, because it's like, I don't know, me too, it's so great. I don't know if you feel a resistance to structure. I think you're working it with it, but it's maybe just like whatever the traditional structure, yes, that people have influenced on you, or pushed on you doesn't feel like good traditional advice. But I do feel like there's like a learning the Oonga Boonga human way, because you are talking to like Oonga Boonga humans. Respectfully, it's like the best way I can say it. I am included in that bunch. Yeah, because that's what I remember yesterday. I was like, you don't need authority figures. Like, you don't need a mentor in the sense of like somebody bringing you to spirituality, because you know that you have access to that always. But and most of us are like that, you know, different people at different levels, different strokes for different folks. But you really need the consult 3, like the logistical planning. So it's like, I know, right, in my business mind, and I talk about this because I'll do my mentor is 70. I should say she's more like a therapist, right? I've mentioned her. I was talking about her yesterday, and I help her with logistical stuff, right? She'll sit and help me facilitate, in her wisdom of 70 years on this earth, like her projectorism of what she sees back that like I can't really see at this moment, or this, you know, certain impasses in my life, or just where I need like a little bit of help and linked arms with my Scorpio. And so it's really for you, just like people helping you out with the logistics, you know, like knowing that because you're so up here, there is a way that people traditionally that are more earthbound than you are used to a certain level of hospitality, is the thing that I'll say, or a certain level of coordination. Yeah, and so like thriving in community, yes, but like if we want the congregation to grow, I don't mean to trigger with any religious words, but like if you want the community to grow, there's a certain way that you need to learn their language. Almost like if you were to cosplay human and how you would need to be spoken to join your tribe, if you will. Hi, Dave. That's important. So I will leave you with that for now. Let me know if there's any logistical things that you feel like you want to know, or that struck in you, as I pull up Kritika's chart now. And then I have Mégane, Angel, and Afro all in a row. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Devleoh. I appreciate you. And thank you for letting me read for you. Yeah. Client avatar, yes, but I'm thinking more so like, I don't necessarily know if you're like, if you were to be like they are between this age and that age, I would think of it more so as like, what are the problems that you like to help people solve? What do you see in people most often? Is it illness? Is it, you know, a multitude of things? But like, if you are, no, that's not how it's, sorry, it's bringing up the wrong place for you. Want to make sure I get the right location. Like, I don't know. So it would depend on what you are pitching to people, right? So the refinement piece comes from, what are you marketing one-on-one sessions? Are you marketing a group to people? What, you know, cosplaying human, what are the ways that people are usually used to a Patreon being pitched to them? Things like that. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you. I just did a quick Google. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I'll put a pin in that for now to pivot over to Kritika here, and just to kind of sit in her energy. So what blessings can I look forward to you to the what blessings can I look forward to you the rest of this year? Oh, like what look forward to the rest of this year? Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, I didn't even know that either. That's so amazing. I mean, just kind of sitting in how you feel at this moment. I feel like also there's a huge potential through softening, actually, like a little bit of just getting a little bit more chill. Maybe we all have qualities of divine feminine and divine masculine, divine spectrum of just like what it means to really tap into our divine. And I feel like there's an opportunity to highlight some of the more divine feminine aspects for you. Like, yes, that doesn't mean that you have to succumb to traditional household wifely style duties and you're totally doing that and becoming like the next Nara Smith, Kritika Smith of the world, but like really allowing yourself to lean into like a version of you and your nervous system that is okay with living like a softer life. And there may be a little bit of fear that comes up around like, well, if I do that, then that means that I won't make a certain amount of money or that I won't be successful. But there's an element for some of the activations that we'll have also with some activation within aspect to your South Node with Jupiter going into Cancer that will allow that to soften, where it's like, oh, I actually don't have to leave behind all of my South Node, Jupiter and Cancer, like where that's being activated, like those qualities of myself. I can do that and still be successful. And it's like, oh, like I've achieved a level of success like up until this point in time. I don't know if you've been seeing a lot of 2s, but like my eyes keep going to a lot of 2s and a lot of 8s for you. It's like a healthy, sustainable change. So I feel like there's, especially post Saturn return, I mean, like you've been out of your Saturn return for a little bit now, but there's like a really leaning into like, okay, like the first year after your Saturn return, you're probably like, what the fuck was that? And why was it going through that? And why was it happening? Now you're like, oh, okay, I can really lean into what has happened in the last even like 5 years of my life. Oh, I love that. Okay, yeah, 222. So affirming that for you. I love that. I love that. And that also to me, like I think from an astrological perspective and a human design perspective, we had some gate 22 activity as well. So being more graceful, leaning into charm. I was saying that for Devleoh also yesterday. Really leaning into that. Oh, there you go, Krisha. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, Jupiter in Cancer, conjunct Chiron. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna feel your spiritual practice is really important. Your femme fatale incarnate. But yeah, just to pivot back to your reading for you, Kritika, I feel like there's also a potential maybe to find ways for like the female energy in your life to like connect you with community more. And like for me, like I hold a lot of the masculine traits, divine masculine, and sometimes just straight up masculine traits in my personality and being direct and straightforward. Gate 49, Aquarius Mercury here. And for me, not for you. You are gate 6 Virgo Mercury, but you appreciate that. That's where the cleanliness is next to godliness. That's like your jam. That's like certain things need to be in order. Like you're like, I can't focus or function. But really pointing into that. Yeah. Do you have, oh, no. Your Mercury, or no, sorry. Your gate 7 Leo Mercury. Yes. I looked below your Venus sign, gate 6. But also cleanliness next to godliness. That's what makes you super critical of other people. Leo Mercury is where the passion comes from for sure. But I also see that as like a, like there's aggression that can come with that combo too. Like, leaning in, like, you know, like maybe there's people maybe feel like it's so funny because the visual I just got also was that there's this woman, there's this show called Couples Therapy with this woman, Dr. Orna, and she's been coming up my For You page a lot. And there's this couple that's sitting there and it's a woman that has glasses on and she's talking to her husband and everyone's like looking at her like, you sound super aggressive. And she was like, this is just how I talk. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, what do you mean I'm aggressive? I'm also from like the Northeast. So like I curse like it's nothing. Like I'm from New Jersey. Like we don't really think about those things. And then sometimes like when I'm around people, like I have a close friend of mine that lives in San Antonio, Texas. Some of my little candle. And she's from there. And I was like, oh, like I noticed that I have to kind of like watch my P's and Q's around her family. Cause I'm like, oh, that's different environment. They're not normal to that here. They're going to be like, what is wrong with this lady? Not that they're rude or anything like that, but I was like, oh, you know, it's like I'm in a different world. And so the point being, and like, I feel like there's an opportunity for you to connect with more aligned people and not feel like maybe an emphasis of like being able to trust and rely on community. In a way that just creates a lot of expansion. I highly recommend for you because you also have outer vision in your human design body graph to literally make a vision board. I know that sounds like a normal spiritual cliche, but there's certain people, like everyone can make a vision board, but the reason your vision board isn't working is because you're not an outer vision person, or you don't have like, for you, it's like making the vision board is just as good as like doing the actual task itself. Like they're indifferent to it. But for you, it's like you need to, oh, I love that. Oh my God, I love that so much. That's such perfect timing. Like really put it in a spot where like, I don't want you to just glance at it and then get bored, like move it around your space if you have to. But it's like, I really want you to look at that and have communion and time with that every single day at one point or another. Like there really needs to be a connection and intimacy with it, right? In a healthy way. And so that will allow you to be like, okay, waking up every day, especially as a manifesting generator, and really leaning into it. Hi, April. I'm just doing paid readings until 9 o'clock. I think I have time after that. I don't think anyone booked, so I can lean into your question more then. Or if you want to sign up for a reading, you could do that there too. But your question deserves a longer answer than I can provide for you. I know. Yes, I knew you. Yes. Nice to be. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Bella. Okay, perfect. So you'll be booked too. Thank you. But just so you know, I'm not ignoring you. But yeah, Kritika, I feel like the cliff notes, right? Like leaning into just being okay and feeling safe and being, I wanted to say softer, but also the word sovereign came to mind. Learning how to, you're welcome, connect with people that feel more loyal, and growing in the quantity of people comes with the quality first, and the quality becomes the quantity over time. And allowing yourself to hold space for trusting that like there are other people out there that mean good, and that being a huge way that you can like actively connect to your blessings at this time. And I think that there's a lot of us that are like feeling burnt out. Thank you so much. Feeling burnt out about like, well, you know, I stopped reaching out to them and they didn't call me. And just know that like everybody's going through a lot, but the people that have a good head on their shoulders that you can trust and are like running with you are the people that are going to be able to like be at the level that you're at. And there's just an intuitive element for this, with this, for me, for you, of like that coming with just leaning into a more softer capacity or softer side of you, because that it's creating more relaxation for your nervous system, where you don't have to maybe fight as much as you did earlier on in life. It's like valid for our experiences to make us that way, but that may be just the next step of softening. Yeah, exactly. She's still regal. She's still on her throne, but like she doesn't have to be in armor. She's in a gown, right? And so it's like, what is your gown? Thank you, Trick. That leads you into feeling that way. So maybe there's some new clothes, Taurus, Venus and Taurus, that we can focus on. Thank you, Trick. Thank you, Ellington. Hello, hello. Thank you. But pivoting over to beautiful Mégane here. Thankfully, I have your chart saved in my chart generator. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I love the orange heart. Leaning into your chart. So starting a new job in 12 days. Oh, congratulations. However, I am somehow excited and nervous. Yeah. Yeah. I'm nervous that I might get overwhelmed. That's normal. You already know this about yourself. You're like, yeah, all the new concepts that are being poured into your channels in your head, and your gate 63, where is that in your conscious side? Your Pisces Saturn, that tracks. Oh wait, here, let me go back. Yeah. Are femme fatales masculine? No, I think that people associate with like dark, thank you. Associate dark, why did I do a transit? Why is your name under January 9th? Oh, okay, this was going to, we were looking at your solar return. That's what it was for. Never mind, thank you. Stand by. But yeah, your undefined ajna, your gate 11, it's funny because I was looking at gate 56, which is what made me say that. Same thing applies, just for different reasons, but overwhelm of the mind. I want you to think of it like this. When you go into a new job, thank you, you know that you're going to get a bunch of new information thrown at you. You are a newbie. Ride that newbie wave until it's like inappropriate, until you can't ride it anymore, right? Like you're going in there, and people, which is hard for a Capricorn, but people expect you to make mistakes, right? People expect you to not have to know everything right away. Like it's literally a new job. Yeah, there may be people that get annoyed because they're ignorant and they just don't have patience and they're miserable and they don't want to be there anymore. That's literally every job place, workplace. Like on the history of this earth. You know, but like there's always going to be somebody that is in transition leaving. So if I would say like to nip some of the normal anxieties in the bud, right, of what we're feeling right now. Oh, even better. Perfect for your manifesting generatorness to be like, or your generators to be like, I have an end in sight. Like I'm responding to the fact that like I'm here for a reason in a season. Your 4253 channel is also really going to love that in addition to your gate 5. Excuse me. I think that knowing that your job, also to your last line, right? How can I navigate a new workplace with less high expectations, is knowing that like your job is also something that you do to pay the bills, your identity. Yeah, right? Is shooting for perfect first time. Yeah, don't do that. It's what is a means to an end so that you can live your life and also use money to have fun, right? Like to pay your bills, to be responsible, but also so that like you can enjoy living and being a human who like can treat yourself to things and enjoy the special cheese from the grocery store, whatever it is, you know, whatever feels good for you. Yeah, the cliff notes up until this point. Allow yourself to be a beginner and allow yourself to use and set aside money to treat yourself. It's like an executive. Oh, amazing. Okay. It's like an executive assistant job. So I'm supporting someone in the office. I love that. I mean, get the cute stationery, like really lean into like what your job is. And like, it sounds crazy, but like, I know you'll appreciate this. It's like thinking of yourself as like going into work and like cosplaying executive assistant. It's like, this is my cute human role and like what I'm doing. And like, you know, you'll learn the flow of your boss, right? And whoever you're the assistant for, or like if you're, you know, the different people that you're going to be supporting, and you have that analytical eye with your placements to really like observe, right angle cross of penetration, really observe, like there's going to be things that people say that they want at a certain time, but then you're going to start to be observational and realize what the actual flow is for how they want things and when. And happy Friday. And that can be annoying, but it's also what's going to be very helpful for your job. So like, it's like when you go into a job and they train you and they're like, so this is the way they tell us to do it, but this is the way everybody else does it. But don't actually say that, like, don't actually tell anybody that this is what I'm saying to you, right? Hi, Paul. I'm just doing paid readings right now. So I'm just walking through a couple other people that I'm reading for, but I can tend to you guys after, or if you want to sign up for a reading, it's $6, the link in my bio. Yeah, I'm trying to see it that way. Like, I think that I'm in movie. Yes, exactly. Listen, like me telling a Capricorn to like not work hard is also like the biggest joke in the world. But it's like, cause it's not, you see it as like not working hard, but it's like, is what's going to allow you to take the pressure off of yourself. It's like, let them think when you go in there that what is like 75% of your true full push is actually what they know your litmus test of 100% to be. Because there's inevitably going to be days where you go in, hi Kiana, and you don't feel your best, or you just need a day to kind of like lay a little bit lower under the radar, or just like, you know, maybe it's a day where on Fridays they get a bunch of packages that go into, you know, the office, and you're allowed to just kind of like do organizing, and you don't really want to have to, you know, run around a bunch of places to do errands or something like that. That's where it's important, right? Yeah, and it can't help but work hard. It's true as generators, but it's like you guys have a predisposition, because Megane's also a generator, of like, just because you can doesn't mean you always should, especially if you don't want to be burnt out. But what I also like this for you, Megane, is that like, you know, it's a 9-month contract. So it's like, you know that there's an end in sight. I think that what would be more overwhelming is if like you didn't have that 9-month, you know, either renegotiation period or end, right? And where you could go and do something else, maybe a temp job or something in another location. So, you know, again, like knowing what you're in it for, reminding yourself what you're in it for. I'm not saying to go in there and act like completely clueless and incompetent, but like take your time to really plant some roots, and that's going to feel better for your nervous system, especially because you do have the 63 wave and then the 4253, but also more so the 63 wave. That's where we can see some depressive tendencies and some melancholy, right? Obviously, I can't tell you have depression. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose those things, but that's where we see those tendencies. So what happens, or what's helpful, is that when you inevitably go through those motions or your cycles, and you know that they come, right? Maybe noticing what seasons of the year they happen, more than others. Maybe it's seasonal, I don't know. But like, you know you best when it comes to your routine, and really focusing on like, okay, I know that's going to happen. So if I set myself up for success, I know that I can sustain this work rather running myself ragged by trying to prove and people please, because hardworking in that way, and it's like we all really defining like what hard work looks like to you. Like I have an extremely hard time personally, like knowing what hard work actually is, because I know everyone always tells me that I work hard, but I'm like, what is that actually, right? Yeah, exactly. And this is where like, I know that like, for me, the sustain things, like actually take your lunch break, like leave your desk to go take lunch. Like that's what it's there for. And start that in 12 days now, so that people don't expect you to always work through lunch. Like, yes, there may be a couple times during your training where that's just what's happening, but you know, that's legally, you have to do that, you know, like, so really allowing yourself to just have a little bit of space. Being able to have that distance from your work is like what helps you keep your head in the game. And you can say like, maybe you're just going to work on it outside. I don't know, like figure out a way to just make sure that you get that for yourself. If you even can't, like, yeah, Ellington, I know. Cause they know they'll pay you less to do more work. Like why they'd be stupid to fire you or get rid of you. But yeah, Mégane, just so that you can protect like your mental health, but it's also your physical health, and like the psychosomatic connection of that is super, super important to making sure that like you don't lose your mind. And making sure that like you're not working harder than expected for like a job that like, especially if you're a temp, like they could replace you tomorrow, you know, if it's only a 9-month contract. So it's like, you know, people can still be nice and you could still be the best job in the world, but like you still just got to make sure that like you are taking care of you, because as a generator, you want to be pouring from your overflow. You don't want to be pouring from an empty cup and wondering why no one else is filling it when we're the ones that are responsible for filling it. That's going to help you. And really, again, leaning into like the nice things that like, yeah, there you go. Like the work-life balance, like work stays at work. Like there's nothing that you are doing in an executive assistant position that is like life or death situations, right? Like there's, you know, just making sure that like you take your time, be okay with being annoying, ask a bunch of questions. It's really not annoying. If people are annoyed by it, they're going to yell at you when you get it wrong anyway. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's why I asked the question in my previous job. I got burned out by overworking. Yeah, and you know that that's your predisposition because you mean well. You like to do a good job, but just like allow yourself to take a little bit of pressure. Maybe it's not 50% capacity or 75% capacity, but even 5% less, just so that you can allow yourself to really lean into like, okay, I am a human being, you know, not just a human doing, and that's okay. Right? So I'm excited for you though. Congratulations. That's an exciting place to be. Yeah. And listen, you already know what your mistakes were. So now you are knowing that like, if you are aware of them, you are educating yourself on it. You know that like, even if you get it wrong or right every third time it happens, that's still progress. Don't beat yourself up about having to be 100% perfect in that as well, right off the rip. So yeah, you're so welcome. Beautiful angel. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so psychic reading, wherever the wind takes you to respond. Thank you. I've been deep diving into my design type and my next aligned step. Living what feels like an unaligned life. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. I love that. I'm actually going to do a little scribbling too. Excuse me. Just to help ground. Yes, I'm also recording these and they're going on YouTube, you guys, just as a reminder. Yeah. Okay. I was also looking here. I know we talked about like redefining your principles. I also pictured like right away like a pink, it looks like a Gerber daisy, although I'm not really good with flowers, and like being outside on a porch somewhere. Like, I don't know if you have a house where you can like walk out on the porch, or like there's somebody's house that like you've been thinking of that has a porch, but like something with just like getting outside and like, it's funny, I want to say touch grass or like working in the garden, like doing things like that. I don't know if I said that song. Yeah, you have a porch. Okay, yes, I love that. Oh yeah, Mégane. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, I love that with flowers I planted. I love that. I feel like just acknowledging that, like, that's a piece of your power and your piece that you're giving yourself back when you do things like that. Like, I don't know if you were like, oh, this is another task, or you're like, wow, I enjoyed this so much. I wish I could do this more often, but my life doesn't allow me to do that. Like, that's like, it's funny because the word that I heard was like earning potential. That's earning potential. But I think what it means to me in psychic translation is more so like, allowing yourself to not be so obsessed about what isn't working is actually going to allow you to get the downloads to be clear about where your energy should be going instead. So working on like alleviating some of the mental pressure, maybe that is when it's gardening or sitting outside or like sitting on your porch in the morning or the afternoon or at night, like just taking those micro or macro breaks to be outside and like enjoy like nice weather, or just enjoy being outside. Maybe you like to walk no matter what the weather is, because I also saw like you need to get outside no matter what. I saw like putting a rain jacket over your head when it was like overcast. I don't know if you have to walk a dog, but like just even being like if you do have a dog to walk, like being intentional about those times, because it's like revelations happening for you during the mundane things. It feels like there's such a nervousness about like, I know I need to leave and what's going to happen and what's it going to be. And I'm so frustrated because I don't know what it's going to be yet. And I don't know why it isn't happening, because like, I know that I'm smart and I'm capable and I have this desire, but it's like that, like, constant chatter doesn't allow for the stillness that's necessary. And what's also interesting that I feel called to say is that like stillness doesn't mean that like the only way you can be successful, like meditating and hearing the other side, is like if your mental dialogue is cut off. Like almost thinking of it as like in conversation with somebody, like when you're meditating with the universe, just think of it as if you're literally in a real life conversation with somebody where you're like, okay, I'm talking with them, and as they're talking, I'm kind of in a sacred pause, but like I'm actively listening to them to see what they're going to say next. And maybe there's some times where I feel called to kind of blurt something out and it actually affirms their point, and then it takes the conversation in an excitable direction. I want you to see your intrusive thoughts while you're meditating as things like that, because you could be like, that's a download, that's a channel where you're like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thank you, universe. That's what I was looking for. And just finding ways to quiet the mind. Those are just some visual ways that I can see to help you. I don't know, like gold stars, golden hour, golden energy. I was thinking of Casey Musgrave's golden hour. Yeah, what does she say? You're my golden hour, you light up my sky. Yeah, I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but I was thinking of that too. And she reminds me of like horses and like aqua blue, like bright blue. So I don't know if all that also, or rainbows. I don't know if that means anything to you too. But really like leaning into just finding peace in like the literal things that give you peace first. Like peace shouldn't come only from when you have things fully figured out. And that's really annoying when we don't feel peaceful and we feel dysregulated. Yeah, frustration that resonates. Yes, talking more with them rather than force. Yes, exactly. Like you don't have to. Thank you so much, Mystic. Hi, Jules. I want it more often, but my life doesn't allow me. Yes, I'm a big outdoor person. Yeah, I feel like it's like you have to make time. The biggest advice that I could give you, and this is more like I can open my eyes for this because this is like human advice, is that being an adult in today's society, especially for all of us in the year 2025, is to realize that like in order to do the things that you want to do, you have to do them while being a level of tired. So like yesterday, even today, like we have humidifiers in our downstairs here, and so I was sitting here and I was like, oh my God, like I can feel how humid it's getting. And I was like, okay, like I haven't been outside today. And so when I was taking and dumping out the humidifiers, I just like stood outside for a second and just dropped into being really present and being out there. And so those are little ways that you can incorporate, like, yes, today I didn't get to have my 10,000 steps, but it doesn't have to be as much like all or nothing in that way. It's like I can celebrate the rainbow. I can taste the rainbow. I can just, when I'm outside walking from my office to my car, right, I can enjoy that. Even if I just open up a damn window and look outside for 3 deep breaths, that is still a way that you can drop in quickly. And you may realize that it's like, oh wow, I actually didn't need to lay down and sleep for 3 hours like I thought I did. It was that I just needed to be really intentional about dropping in this moment and just standing out on the porch drinking 1 cup of coffee. There's always ways that we can think about being creative to get our power back, you know, in some way, shape, or form. And for you, you know, it's working more as like the consultant, the seer. You know, maybe you do use your hands in some way, Reiki. It's funny because I also see the rainbow when I see like Reiki or like, you know, massage therapy. I also think about too. Something with the somatics of the body, but it's like, you know, if you're helping people with the somatics of their body, maybe you don't have to do it in a way that's like literally helping them like move their body, or you're not like a physical therapist, but maybe it's like just consulting with them and holding space for them in an hour via Zoom and moving energy by you just sharing your musings and what you see and what you know. I think not hesitating to share your advice with people, especially in those positions, like when they've actually asked you, and just know that like when somebody responds to you with a little bit of like they're a little bit agitated, you're like, oh, I've pressed the chakra button. I pressed the tender spot where they're healing, and that needs to be activated a little bit. Because what a lot of projectors do for people also is like they're the first ones to pour peroxide in the wound that all the other generators and manifesting generators and other energy types have put the band-aids over. So like, of course you're gonna create a reaction in people because there's healing that has to happen there, or reconfiguration, or boundary setting, or vocal affirmation. We do have a Mercury Chiron sextile today. So there's talking about the harder things, but also there being some healing aspects and communication around that. So it's like, even looking at the moments where like, you say like, my life doesn't allow time for that. Maybe it's like, oh, that means that there's a weak spot where I'm like, you know what, but I would be more joyful if I allowed myself to go outside more. And I did make sure that I created even just 5 more minutes a day, or 5 minutes a day, 1 minute a day, period, to just show myself that it's possible. I can do anything for a minute, right? Just like I can get up and watch my phone for a minute, or be on this live for a minute. I can go outside for a minute, and just being intentional about that. Maybe I look at the stars if it's dark out. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing aspect too. Yeah, 1000%. I feel like, you know, as projectors, and what I'll close with you in your business, it's like really adopting the phrase or thinking of yourself as like a consultant. And DeAnna, I see you too. Thank you so much. Seeing yourself as a consultant, and that like consultants just tell people based on the wisdom of the things that they see, like really trusting your vision, you know, your psychic gifts, your intuition, your pattern recognition when it comes to your clients and your people. You don't have to prove how much you can do for others by how much you burn your physical body out or provide physical manual labor. That's like the opposite of what a projector should be doing. So I just encourage you to think of things that way, where you're like, oh, I actually don't have to run myself ragged and drive all over creation unless I wanted to, because I felt activated and that felt exciting. You know, your worth doesn't come from how much you exhaust your physical body. It's how much transformation you give to that person by expanding their mind. So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much. And this, again, recorded and is going to be posted on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate you. Beautiful Afro. I'm excited. Okay. So what suggestions do you have regarding an online spiritual business? Well, I can talk to you about, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm excited to see all the things you do. And same for you, Afro. It's like, it's funny because I always say like the end of someone's reading kind of always starts with the beginning of somebody else's. And it's like a sweet wave that we go through. And so for you, the first thing that I always look at when I'm talking about like online spiritual businesses, I mean, you've already identified like major parts of literally what is in my projector video tomorrow, which is going on YouTube, I should say too. So if that piqued anybody's interest, but you've identified that you want to do things online first. You're like, the first thing to always use your discernment for is, do I want to be in person more or online more, right? We need both. We need a balance of both. That's healthy, keeps us fresh in business, but you already know you want to do online, A+, right? The next thing we look at is right angle cross of explanation. Now, I've had quite a few right angle cross of explanation people that I've come across. And ironically, right, the biggest thing, which is for all of us, you are not like respectfully not unique in this way, because it's all a struggle that we face, is really leaning into like what our incarnation cross is telling us. And it's like everybody else's incarnation cross, we get it right away. Us, we're like, it sounds like Chinese, different language. Like I don't speak, I don't understand this. And so right angle cross of explanation is getting really good at talking to people as if they're at a 4th grade level. And you're gonna feel when you first start doing that in your online spiritual business that like you are being dismissive, or like you're like looking down your nose at these people, or you feel like, especially Aquarius, you feel like it's not cerebrally stimulating for you as much at first. But what helps connect your people, especially because you're a 4/6 profile, is really simplifying it. So like the thing that can get in the way, because I've literally worked with projectors that have this incarnation cross as well, is that like you guys are really good at giving the system to other people. But statistically, if most of your community or your community, in your online spiritual business is going to be generators and manifesting generators, I need to hear how you can show me that it's efficient. So that's not to say that, like, say you were to give me, let me think of something. Let's talk about food, right? And spiritual wellness and looking at your digestion and human design. Your digestion is high sound. So like in your community where you're teaching people things, you'll have music going in the background. Maybe you figure out how to incorporate Spotify so you can play music while you're manifesting or talking to your community on Zoom. It's got to be a little bit more lively and active for you. Like that's already something that we know to be true for your spiritual business. Reminding yourself that you can be serious about having fun. Those two things can exist simultaneously. And then figure out, like, in layers, like, what are you explaining to people? So not to say that you can't speak to people that like are at a certain educational level, right? But it's like you get more when you focus on giving less but with more depth. That's how you actually give more. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say, I'll use myself as an example. If I were going into a community or in Patreon, right? Because I have Patreon and I'm in that community, and I had the rating across of explanation. My Patreon would be more so just talking about one word or one concept versus what I do with walking people through a whole method, like methodology. Ironically, it kind of has the same result anyway. There's clarity, but it's like you really see like all the molecular levels of everything that goes into just that one word. So let's say the word of the month or the word of the week that you pull people through in your community is sacred, right? And then through that, you open up to all of the floor for all your people and ask them how do they define the word sacred, and then you teach people from these different places in your spiritual practice what our relationship to sacred could be, and maybe you help people create a definition and do a journal prompt. I think also knowing that less is more when it comes to rating across of explanation, because you can mean really well, but you could overwhelm people if you're not careful. So just paying attention to that is also something important, just to know that, like, again, less is more. I think there also can be a propensity to want to know it all, and you feel like your level of like how much you know is what proves your worth to other people. So you're like prepared at any juncture, which is good, right? Very helpful for your mental projectorness. But remember that, like, the biggest thing that you can say that's a big relief is that as long as people trust that you're a good source of information and you're good at your craft, you can say to them, like, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. Or here's my best guess, but let me back it up by doing some research, and we'll talk about that in next month's meeting. You know, I think also deciding, like, do you like a subscription like Patreon? Is that something that feels like a good space to facilitate your community? Would you like to only have community in your lives and TikTok lives and YouTube lives and Instagram lives? How do you picture that? And the reason I say that so much is because of your 4/6 profile. Like, you really thrive in community and being able to be a role model for people in community in some way, shape, or form. So there's a huge potential to like really be able to impact the masses, but to be able to have that, what we said, Kritika said, like that Empress energy of like sitting on your throne. It's funny because I have my cards here, and I had the Lovers at the top and the Ace of Pentacles, and then what else did I have? 8 of Cups, walking away from the thing you thought was going to be fulfilling, but you'd rather go down the road less traveled. Definitely in needs for that. And I think also just like really sitting with creating the organization and the structure. For the video tomorrow will also be a helpful like homework for you to watch for projectors, but I won't give you, like, I won't overwhelm you with that at this juncture. But really for you, like, what is the intellectual property or the method that you're really giving to people? Like, what makes me want to go and connect with Afro versus somebody else that's teaching the same thing? Like, also pulling in, like, your background of experiences. I attract a lot of creative people because I worked in the creative industry basically my whole working life, and have done things like that. So I attract a lot of people that like to be creative about business or creative about their offerings or creative about their website or literally creatives like artists that actually paint. My artist Rachel is a projector and she's doing a whole tarot series. But yeah, like really thinking of it in that regard. I think that also, because you need motivation in human design, like really asking yourself before you make any content that you create in any capacity, really asking yourself, like, what do people really need to know right now? Like, how do I get straight to the point? Maybe it's that I don't need to do a traditional 45 to 60 minute meeting. I only do half hours because I know that that's really all anybody needs. Like the time and duration that I spend with people doesn't equate to the impact of the message that I can actually give them. And really knowing like that that's part of your literally you secret sauce with your placements too. The only other channel that you have is literally the channel of logic. So it's like, how can you be more formulaic? How can you be comfortable in like what I said to Mystic too, like the same type of things apply as it often does. Usually there's a theme of the night with everyone that I'm reading for, but like what's the real formula that you walk people through for the way that you like to flow through creating a good foundation? And hi Catherine, and making it really clear for people of what they get from you. I feel like because you guys get bored with the simplicity of that sometimes, it can cheat the more simple people. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but the people who can't think at that high capacity and that high velocity as a mental projector, remembering that you are not your ideal client either. So it's like the things that you provide for people as your skill set are not always the things that you need help with. And so that can be a weird place to be because you're like, well, I wouldn't buy this service. And it's like, yeah, because you're providing it. People are needing to buy it from you, but then you buy things from other people that you need to thrive, right? Or the things that you need to know. Maybe you want to have, you want to get a booking software and you don't know how to do booking software. So you pay somebody to help you for an hour or watch a couple YouTube videos about Squarespace integration, and you pay somebody to set up your website for you, like that kind of stuff, right? I feel like, and this has been a key theme that's been coming up a lot the last couple of days, is like you don't need the inspo, you just need like the organization to like be willing to take the leap of faith. And it doesn't have to be as scary. I think just really knowing and defining like what this looks like for you intuitively, not comparing yourself to how other people are doing it. But when you really sit with yourself about what feels successful for you or how you identify success is going to be really important. So it's not a matter of like, can you do it? It's just when will you do it? So I'll also say that and leave you with that. That you're definitely aligned for that type of work, especially with that Pisces Jupiter. Like, I mean, being such a healing space for people. Maybe it's that you hold silent meditations. I don't know. Like it could be creative. It doesn't have to be something. Hi, Tina. I can see you sneak in here. It doesn't have to be super hard, paying attention to that. But yeah. But thank you so much, Afro. I'm excited for you. Let me know if you have any other questions. I have Tina who booked, and then I have DeAnna after that. So those are my two up until this point. No, it's okay. Yeah. But that's, yeah. I think everyone, we're up to code, right? I have everyone in a row. Yeah. Tina at 9:10 Eastern, and then DeAnna, right? Because Bella, I don't see, are you Tina? Are you Tina from another account? Or that was an accident. Maybe. I didn't realize. Let me pull up Tina's chart here. Career. Yeah, I kind of want to pull cards for you. It's so funny because I feel like, hi, Josh. This first card, Tina, Ace of Swords, it was like, I just want to take a sword to everything, like burn it all to the ground. And I feel like it's like being okay with people not getting you. And I feel like it's just like annoying because you're like, what else is new? Like, I'm just used to this. Like, why would I feel any different? It's just like exhausting. And I think just knowing like you're always going to be somebody that's a little alternative and even the most aligned of spaces. It's like giving like Aquarius energy, or like Pluto and Aquarius transiting too, of like, feeling a little bit like I'm still figuring out how to get my legs, even when things are going well. Like, I feel like there can still be this opportunity to second guess, like, when the other shoe is going to drop, because you've also been through a lot, and you're also like, yeah, again, it's like waiting for the other shoe to drop, because at some point it always does. And I will say this too, which I feel like also really applies to you, Tina, as I'm pulling up your chart. How do I word this? Like, knowing that you're like destined for more, but also really wanting to figure out, you don't have to create your own system per se. Oh yeah, Afro, I read for you. I didn't realize that you weren't here. I'm so sorry. I'm just reading for Tina and then DeAnna, but I did do your reading. Just let me know. Sorry, I thought you were just taking notes. That was in my head what you were doing. But let me finish Tina and then DeAnna, and I can reiterate a few things. But this will be recorded, so you'll at least have the recording too. And then you can drop some comments as well. I think I only have it open till 9:30 anyway, but that'll help us. But yeah, Tina, just so I don't interrupt myself here, really being able to figure out like, where are you feeling maybe like you're letting your passion get the best of you? That's okay. I'm sorry too. Yeah, death of something needing to maybe even come to an end, or some sort of closure. Also maybe like ego death, waiting out the emotional authority. Oh, there you go. I quit my job. Yeah. Feels a little like impulsive action. So like the impulse was like, yeah, judging your character is crazy. I feel like don't let people scare you out of spaces that you're meant to be. Although like, I feel like there's also an opportunity to just do something different. Yeah. It feels a little bit like, not exactly a full-blown tarot moment, but definitely something that put a little bit of a wrench, maybe because of not being able to wait out the emotional wave. Like, maybe we wait a little bit next time. But also, I get it. I literally get it. I feel like, are there ways where, like, I mean, have you ever heard of, like, you know, I feel like you're also the type of person that would say, like, let me just sell pictures of my feet. I mean, I have people that I can connect you with. I have a client that's a dominatrix that you don't have to go ahead and be full blown that way. Yeah, but something that you're not going to be left out in the cold. Like, it's not like you're going to be worried necessarily about paying your bills. Maybe you aren't worried about paying your bills, but definitely this like opportunity of like, you're looking at the 3 cups spilled over, but you forgot you had 5. Yeah, okay. Can you send me a message on this account and I'll connect you with her? Cause she like has it all figured out on lock. I'll say that, right? The with Tina. And connecting like you into that world. Cause she does a lot of stuff online too. Like she doesn't have to like be in person. And of course like my 5 Scorpio placements, like I love like listening. I'm so a career voyeurist in that way, where I love what people are doing for work. Like, it's amazing. I know. I'm happy. Maybe she's a projector, so I've invited you to take her class. But I also think it's an opportunity because she's a single mom. So it's like an opportunity for like grounding in like maybe like stuff that you can do to work from home, or because you're 2-5, like you just want to be left alone to do your own thing. My dad is also a 2-5, and I'm always like, Dad, are you good? Like, you good? He lives with us now. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, like I'm fine. Like, he's content to just like be on his computer for hours at a time. He likes to watch his shows. Like, he's just happy to be at peace. And like, cause he's dealt with so much like not peace, like in his life up until like a month ago, basically. And so allowing yourself to just be in that same space, I think is important, right? Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly, Orion. Yeah, I want to work for myself. I think like, I also just like love that femme fatale kind of energy, like badass energy that comes with me connecting you with her. So I'll message her, like as we get off the live in a little bit. And then that can be a first step. I think, do you have an idea of what you want to do? Or like, are you just like, I'll do anything like that, just, I don't have to deal with people that like are annoying. Cause it's so frustrating because like you see the possibilities. You're meant to like tell people like what's on the horizon and how it has to be fixed. Okay, yeah. As a Writing Across of Laws person, I was reading that because Samantha, who's Gate 50, she's October 22nd birthday as well. I read for her first yesterday. And like you go in to establish law and order, and like sometimes establishing law and order is like their character. Like you probably said this, you're like, you're worried about my fucking character, like your fucking character. Like you guys are like pretending that like this behavior is okay and it's not. And you're exactly right. But like the problem is that there's so many places that like would get people like probably arrested and put in jail, like if they actually admitted to the things that they were doing. Yeah, exactly. So it's like the only option is to kind of work for yourself. It's just a matter of figuring out like what works for you. I feel like just doing something that you don't really care about from home, like if it was something like I'll connect you with her, like OnlyFans or something like that, right? Like there's ways that you can do it where like if you're not comfortable like with that kind of work, like you can talk to people, like she'll give you like all of your options. She's more educated in that than I am, but there's opportunities there. Yeah, I feel like really reassessing like how much you really do have in terms of resources, it can also be helpful. Maybe allowing people to help you. For the elderly, there you go. Lone, like old and alone. Talk to me on the phone. There you go. I just made your tagline. You got like an old. It's the Tina life alert. Help, I'm lonely and I want to talk. That would be funny. I mean, you could do like a whole thing. I'm sure that would be successful. And you would have to market on Facebook, right? Like, we're the people that like know how to do that. And it can be like, you know, any variation of that you would want. But I think just really allowing yourself to, yeah, exactly, old and lonely. I know. It's actually sad. But even like, I mean, it's funny because I was talking about this, right? I know, Afro. It's so true. Like, you're like, don't talk to the person that's trying to steal your money via gift cards and getting you scammed. Like, talk to me. And like, actually, at least we actually know it's doing, and it's reciprocal here. Like, there's an appreciation for that. But like home health aides, like also like being able to like, there's like visiting angels or like something along those lines where there's like support for the elderly. Like maybe you actually would like love to talk to like some, you know, like an older person who's just wise beyond their years. Like they don't have anything to prove to anybody, you know, like they just are like settled in who they are. Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yes, absolutely. I feel like there's just a real potential to like sit and do that where it's like, it's one person at a time. You get to be matched as the home health aide. Maybe it's somebody who like can shower and sleep by themselves, but they just need a little bit of help with meals. Oh, I love that. So you already have experience on your resume that you can write. Hi, Unique. That you can write that fits into that. I think there's a huge opportunity also for people, but I would not work in a nursing home. Like, it's awful. It's awful in a lot of places, unless they're like, even with a lot of money, like, you know, there are people who run their business by like befriending old people in the old folks homes and then like getting them to like write their stuff to them in a will, like, you know, things like that. And like, that's a business. That's a choice, right? That's a choice. You know, I'm about the ethical aspects of that where, you know, not letting that, I know it. I was reading that yesterday, in a TikTok, like comments about like healthcare. Yeah, helping them escape. Exactly. You're like, hello, fellow Brenna. We've had 3 Brennas tonight. I'm so honored. It's so rare that we find each other, right? Nice to meet you officially. But I feel like, yeah, home health aid, looking into that. Me too, likewise. Looking into that can be helpful, Tina. And I feel like you would just laugh. You know, like you would laugh with them. Like there's like you would have fun. Like they don't give a shit. You know, maybe it's some, you know, older man who used to be in a band or older woman who was never married and traveled all the time. And now she, you know, is less mobile and just needs help with meals. Like you can decide like what your threshold is. And, you know, you don't always need like a nursing degree or anything like that. So I'll leave you at that, especially because you have so much experience being a patient advocate because of Nick. There's a huge opportunity for that too, of like literal lived person life experience. But yeah, so I will leave you at that. I'm excited for you. I mean, I'm glad for you that it feels chaotic AF, but like it really is all working out. And I always believe that for you. You know, it's a lot. You're allowed to be angry. Like, it's okay that there's always low grade anger there. I'm the same way. I really am. At this year of my life, I feel that. Oh, amazing. Yeah, so like no questions asked. That's perfect. Licensed phlebotomist done. You also, and sorry, DeAnna, I'll pivot in 1 minute because you'll be our last, and then I'll talk to Afro. So we have a little bit of time. Thank you. LabCorp. There was one woman that was working in an office by herself at my dad's primary physician, his doctor, and she was downstairs by herself. They would just send people downstairs to take blood, right, for the patients that needed blood tests. So that maybe could be an option. She didn't look that happy, so I don't know about that fully, but like, just to say she was alone at least, and like she could see he was coming in and out, you know, she knew that people were open there, but yeah, who knows, but just another opportunity to talk about that. But I do like that for you, of working with the elderly. DeAnna, just let me know that you're here and that you're, I don't know if you have your beautiful little generator with you. We're putting her down for the night to relax. Oh, yay. Okay, perfect. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, this is my Taurus Venus day. Yeah. Thank you, Tina. My, Venus and Taurus transit of the day. I was talking, so I filmed a video for dressing for your astrology for all the days of the week, and today was the last day. So now that it's done, I'll share it with you guys, but that'll go out on Tuesday. So you'll see that. Hi, Claudia. Oh, I love that. Hello, December. She's so cute. I can like hear her already. But yeah, so okay, so for DeAnna here, beautiful DeAnna, to take us home before I pour into Afro, before we head out for the night. What does my yes feel like? I hear you say sacral yes for generators. Oh, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Let me bring up your chart because there's actually a couple things that I want to look at when it comes to your gates, actually. It was around, I did this yesterday too. I'm finding it. Closer. You were right around the full moon in Leo. Yeah, here we go. Full moon in Leo in my Rolodex here. Yeah, so with your self-projected authority, thank you. I wanted to look at what gates that you have in your throat. So a couple things. So being a self-projected projector, you have to say things out loud to know what you're even feeling. And I know that sounds crazy, but literally talk to yourself in either like third person or talk to yourself out loud to be like, what does my yes sound like? Like, what am I excited by? Like, do I want to do this? Like, actually speaking it out loud into existence. Now, because of that, that's how you can also feel somatically excited. Like, it's not like you are immune to feeling like the uh-huh or the It's just that you may not fully respond with your physical body, although I know that like being a Gemini, like you're very gestural. So like it could also be that, right? But I think it's a matter of like you're gonna feel that way or know fully like how excited you are about something. I know this when you speak it out loud, right? So it's like, okay, how do I refine what I'm excited about through my speech patterns, through the words that I use, for the vocabulary that I use, right? Maybe there's certain words that you realize or certain songs that you hum or humming and singing in general. Hi, Chris. When you know that you're more excited about something at all, right? So it's like really looking and taking note of your speech patterns. Thank you. Hello. Can help you with that. What I also wanted to say, hi, hello, Jade, thank you, is looking at the gates of your throat center. Yeah, getting out of my mind. Yeah, I do think a ton, but I must talk it out 1,000%. And look there's nothing wrong with you for being like that, right? I'm going to show you why. So there's no direct plug from your ajna and your mind to your throat. So it's not natural, ironically, for you to have an outlet for what you speak about on your mind. What it does come from is your chest and like your heart space, right? So your G center is all about like love, direction, connection in that way. Your heart space, even though this is technically the heart center, the ego center, but it's like, ooh, like I'm feeling this in my chest. Like I feel like maybe it's things that take your breath away, right? It's funny because oftentimes we use a lot of vocabulary words that have to do with our energy center or like our authority, where it's like yours is your throat connected to your G center. So it's like, maybe I say like, oh, that took my breath away. Like that would make sense because that's the area of your body that it speaks to. Yeah, I talk to others, but I don't talk physically out loud as much. Yeah. And it's probably because like there's been so many times where like you were told to be quiet, like don't talk so much, like all the things that like you were told as a child about like how it's inconvenient to talk. So like, therefore, you don't even talk to yourself, or like it's almost felt like unsafe to do so. Or maybe there just weren't people around you that you could trust enough to like be able to share it, you know, in that way, or be able to share, what you were thinking about, whatever, for that reason. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The gasp out loud sound. Yeah. And even that, like, gasping out loud, like, because probably what your people associated with growing up was fear, like, oh no, which could also be true. Maybe it's like, I don't like that, or like, oh my God, yes, like that's also part of that. But it's like, instead of it being like sacral, it's like it's up here. We're like, oh my God, you're right. Wow, like I can hear you saying it as I'm saying it to you. So like for you, there's like, oh wow, like it clicked. So there's your yes, right? Of like, oh damn, like from that point being, right, part 2 of that, gate 8 is like, what can you not stop talking about? Like when you know that it's a yes for you, it's that thing that like if you could shout it from the rooftops and like everyone would know about it tomorrow. Gate 8 is, hi Tiara, is your Mercury. So it's also the later step to that, part 2, mosquito bite on my arm, is like, what do you want to tell the world about, right? Hello, happy Friday, happy Venus Day. So yeah, the gasping for air in a good way. You're like, you know, like what has you in doing that, and allowing yourself to like, I would love to hear your content about that, or if you want to like make a piece of content about like reclaiming your gasp, reclaiming your ability to speak. Oh, I love that. Congratulations. That is so exciting. I know, it's so nice. Like once you finally do it and you're like, this is what I cheated myself of this for so long. I can't believe I did that. But yeah, DeAnna, to like, you know, finish, you know, with you in the last few minutes, looking at the gates of your throat center too. So like, yeah, we're talking to ourselves out loud. You're reclaiming your gasp. A couple other ways. So like gate 16, gate of skills. Let me actually read to you, because this will be helpful specifically for the 6th line. Gate of enthusiasm. So the great art of enriching life by harmonic channeling of energy. This is the person who has the ability to experience, examine, and then rejecting misleading enthusiasm. Who are the people? Yeah, oh my God, yes, he's working on healing my throat chakra. I'm so glad. Probably things that you've noticed already. I'm sure you've been doing this, right? I would love to see like even a series, like that would be fun, of like things that you've used to help clear your throat chakra, or like the things that you do, right? I mean, you're so good at talking where I feel like people would be like, you have something with your throat chakra? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're so good at making content and like speaking to people, and it's so easy for you to talk on camera, but maybe there's levels to that will help with the relatability to like get people to see you more. Or, you know, like what we've said before, like days, like 1 week of reclaiming my, of healing my throat chakra, something along those lines. I know I'm giving you like 100 ideas right now. Yeah, so in a detrimented aspect, the same principle of being able to reject anyone that's misleading or lying, but where Neptune, or like the rough waters of people who have wronged you with misleading energy, will destroy and then seek new forms. Its enthusiasm for social structures are permanently prejudiced. The failure to assess the expression of others. So this is where like it's so interesting, because we were talking about so much how like people see your joy as like childlike energy that they can exploit, when you're like, no, I'm just actually somebody who isn't jaded, and I'm kind, and like now that I know that that's how you see me, like I'm rejecting this as like why, like, I'm not putting you on a pedestal. Like, you are making it sound like I put you on a pedestal just because I respected you and you didn't appreciate me enough to share that same respect in return. You know, like, what is that? And so it's like, not, the line here, the note here is like the susceptibility to propaganda, meaning that, like, yeah, it could be in your youth, like, being susceptible to propaganda, or that thinking that the propaganda was like there was something wrong with you when you gasped out loud just because other people in the room didn't heal their nervous system and didn't know that gasping for joy was your way of expressing joy, but rather thought that it meant that something was wrong. And then, like, you know, like, energetically beating it out of you as you got older, so you felt bad about it. It's like, okay, like, I see that, like, I don't have to fall for the propaganda of other people telling me that this is wrong, or that it's inconvenient for me to, like, express my joy. You're allowed to do that. It's just a lot. It's like misery loves company, you know, at the core. Yeah, so much in my life. I can see it in different phases, but the same lesson. Yeah, and it's like, we usually have things that, we all have things that repeat. Like, for me, it's always been a blend of, like, learning how much responsibility I have to take on, or I have the bandwidth to take on, right? Of, like, with my Saturnian energy. And so for you, I think it's like, how much joy are you allowed to express, or, like, joy has limits, or something, you know, like, having fun, or trying different things, or being a human being, you know, or like how I always say for you projectors, it's like you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Yes, gate 12 is 2. That's a gate of caution. So leaning into that with your Venus, it's like really connecting with, like, when you're excited about something, like, don't share your goals with people right away. Yeah, I'm learning I need a projector bestie at this point. No, literally. Get you a projector bestie. Not my bestie, but a projector bestie. That's that lady who said that, I'm the only girl hosting, like, pumpkin spice. She goes, I don't, get you a man, not my man. Get you a man. That's what it reminded me of. But yes, gate 12, gate of caution. The last thing I'll say, is that, like, just be aware of who you share your goals and dreams with, even online. Jupiter in Cancer is also teaching us, like, how much do we share in the online space, and, like, being cautious doesn't mean that we are being, we're gatekeeping, but, like, also sometimes gatekeeping, like, isn't a bad thing. It's one thing to, like, be weird about, like, telling people where you got your genes from. Like, no, that doesn't really affect anyone's life, but it's like, if you're telling, like, you know, telling too many people, like, what your end goal is, or, like, being too open with, like, what your manifestations are, like, people don't even necessarily mean to do it, even people that know you. But if they're like, if their thought and their limiting belief is like, I can't do that, or like, they definitely can't do that, that already throws a weird, like, wrench and energy towards you that, like, you just don't deserve, and, like, it's unnecessary, right? It's like, that energy, kind of what we talked about with the riffing off of, like, telling other people what you're gonna do and then waiting for their reaction to deem whether or not your idea is worthy of doing anyway. That's where, like, the gate of caution is gonna come through and help you. So yeah, I'm excited for you though. That was fun. Thank you so much. And thank you guys, all of you, for keeping me fully booked and busy for this evening. Afro, are you here so I can give you a couple other cliff notes too? Thank you, DeAnna. I adore you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just gonna close my blinds. So Afro, oh yeah, okay. I'm here, but I'm driving. Yes, okay, be careful. Don't text and drive. My cat has got the setup over there. So a couple things I was saying for you, for your spiritual business. I did record the whole, like, session too. So that way you can listen, like, it'll be on YouTube again. Oh yeah. Oh yay, Claudia. Oh my God, I'm so honored. We're in the sky with you. Have safe travels. I'm excited. Wherever you're going. That's always fun. I love traveling. Let me pull up your chart, because we were talking about, oh, spiritual business. So I was saying the cliff notes of what I was saying that'll be easier, hi Jerica, to consume right now. Being okay with talking to people at, like, as if they're all 11 years old, and explaining things to people really simply. That may feel initially like you're looking down your nose at somebody, but, like, it's okay to say it more simple. What I said that was really good that you identified is that you want to have an online business, and you know that you want to be pouring into good setups for systems that you create organization around for yourself that helps you to create a thriving online business. What I didn't say that I will add now also is knowing that when you have an online business, that comes with a certain online marketing that you should do too. This doesn't mean that you have to go and like start promoting like a bunch of things on like Facebook, you know, banners. And frankly, like I think sometimes it could come across as a little corny, or like it's kind of like fraudulent. There's a woman that I think her name is like Alyssa or something like that, or Elisa, and she was doing like ChatGPT and human design, and there were a bunch of comments that like she kept deleting because like I get all the human design ads and stuff like that, and people were saying that like this did not work as delivered. And I'm like, just to use ChatGPT for human design in like teaching you how to use it is like kind of like the antithesis of human design, and like unnecessary if you just know how to read your chart properly or just like get good guidance. It's like the over-reliance of not like using it as a tool that uses you, not a tool that you use. Like that's another story for another time or another conversation. But you have the reigning cross of explanation as your incarnation cross. So it's the hardest thing can be for you is like to find out simple ways to explain things to people. So what I will encourage you to do is like, if you want to say do like guided group trainings, you know, with people, and that's how you get paid through like some sort of subscription. You want to make sure that like you're not figuring out what you're going to talk about like that day or like on the call, especially because we're looking at with your mental authority. You have to walk yourself through you have to walk yourself through like what you're going to be teaching to everyone, and like having a certain cadence of like, okay, this is the flow. When I'm explaining something to somebody, in order to do it effectively, thank you, Jonathan, hello, I need to have like a beginning, a middle, and an ending, so like people know what they're doing. I think it's super helpful for projectors too. I gave this to Anna, and I told her, I was like, at every reading that you do, projector Anna, tell people what you taught them so they don't forget. So they're not, because they're going to take you all over, right? Over the river and through the woods. But like remind them as a recap at the end, especially for you being a projector, of the 3 things that they took away from whatever it is that you taught them. So that is also like a really good way. If you begin with those 3 end things that they learn in mind and write your content, write your teachings around that method, that's going to be really helpful to like, oh, people are like, okay, I know what I'm coming to Afro for. Like I got it, right? Maybe you make it an acronym with your name, with Afro. I don't know, like that would be just something cool. But for 6s, you really do thrive in community. And also it would be good for you to consider like groups of some sort, right? Like what is a successful group look like to you? How would it operate? Is there anybody who, is there some, like if you look at platforms online, do you want to do it all through Zoom and your website? Do you want Patreon? Do you want both? Like I have both integrated together. Yeah, there's like opportunities for you to just kind of consider like how do you really thrive in your authority in that way, and knowing that like you're just meant to provide things in that direction. I don't remember B. I'll write it down because I can make one for you as well. But if you look up the hashtag, like hashtag left angle cross of dominion, it will come up if I have one. I made them like, I think all like almost 3 years ago now. And I still do them from time to time, but I'll prioritize that for you. My fellow Brenna. Oh, if the other Brenna's still here, this is one of the other Brennas. But yeah, Afro, let me know, be cautious, but if you have any other questions too. But those are just good cliff notes to like, yeah, you're so welcome. Good cliff notes to help you at least get started, and good like thinking talk points as well. Hi Nura, how are you? Aw. I just got a sweet message on YouTube. One of the girls that follows me there was like, I'm so sorry that I haven't seen you, but I'm back now, so I'll be able to be active again. And I was like, I just find it sweet when people say that, like, because I'll think that I'm like, oh, I wonder how so-and-so is doing, and then usually I'll end up like we always say like, I wonder how so-and-so is doing, and then they call you, because we're all like that. All of us psychics. Yeah, well, that's your undefined G center. I think like the best thing, like having that too, you're welcome, You have to absorb it like you're taking a sip of wine at a wine tasting and then spit it out in the spittoon or whatever it's called. It's definitely not called a spittoon. I don't know, maybe it is. But like you have to just take a sip of it. You're not like having people shove. It's like when you go to a bar and say you're sober and like you like your mocktails and some drunk SOB shoves a drink in your hand, but they're like blasted and unaware of like you being like, they can't conceptualize that you're, you know, sober. And then you're like, oh, okay, like, thank you. And then you like take the shot, but like you dump it out in the woods behind you. It's like, you have to kind of think of your open G center and absorbing other people's energy like that. Cause that's also what's going to be able to help you hold the container for like, actually, yeah, listen, I'm exactly in that same boat too. People do that to me all the time, but like I get paid for it. Like for me, I'm like, no, like we know what we're talking about here. You know, like I'm not doing that for free. Thank you, Orion. Like there's a give and take there. And I don't make any apologies for that. Like, yeah, I'm able to hold space and that's a gift. If you do that for free, that's you not learning people pleasing boundaries. But like, I'm glad that you're comfortable with me and I honor that. But like, if I have people that will try to do that, like even at the grocery store, I've had that. And I usually just, especially if it's somebody older, I'll be like, you know, I'm so sorry. I literally cut them off mid-sentence if it's just going on for too long. And I will put an arm on a hand on their arm and I'll be like, I'm so sorry, but I have to go. But I'm so like, thank you it was nice to meet you. I hope you have a blessed day. I'll keep you in my prayers or something like that. Like just kind of have like your, I call it like the graceful exit, where it's like whatever you know that your kind of spiel or script is for like creating that graceful exit for yourself. You don't have to be a victim to that anymore, you know? And listen, there's still times that it happens to me too. Cause like I'm tired or I didn't think about it before I ran out the door to the grocery store and I was like, no one's going to talk to me today. I'm not wearing any makeup or whatever. And of course that's the times where it's like you run into the people from high school and then they talk about so-and-so and yeah. Thanks, Claudia. Yeah, it's so helpful because like it's a gift and it should be respected and honored. And I think that in those moments also, what I've noticed that I can share too, is that it also teaches people, when you say it kindly, they're like, when they go and they're in an experience where someone does something like that to them, you know, let's say maybe 50% of the time, people who are self-aware and care enough to do that, they're like, oh, wow, like, I can actually do that too. Like I have permission to also set boundaries in relationships where people are talking about heavy things. And like, maybe I'm also just trying to have a good time. And often it happens where like, if I'm at a workshop, I was at my friend, Andrea's, she has a wand making workshop that she does. She's the zero waste artist that I was talking about. And, we were sitting there and she had another mutual friend that was like, oh wow, like, oh, you do human design. She was like, you could bring up my chart if you want. And it wasn't like and if you want, like, actually it was like oh, bring up my chart so you can read for me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like when I'm not working, like, you know, and I'm at workshops, it's just my decompression time. And her response was a little edgy, but like, you know, people are uncomfortable if they are not used to setting boundaries like that. And she was like, oh, well, I just bring up anyone's chart, you know, like whenever they ask me, like, I don't mind, you know, where I am. And she wasn't like fully malicious, but I just knew that it was just because she like I made her feel bad, you know, about like not pulling up her chart. She was probably a little embarrassed. And I was like, yeah, I totally get it. I was like, I just, you know, I just need time where like, I don't have to think about it sometimes. And that's what keeps me fresh. I said something funny. Like it was like, you know, I got to keep myself young or sharp or something like that. But I also don't take like their response. Like, yeah, was it a little annoying? Of course. But like, I also know where it came from and I don't judge her for having that reaction. Cause I know, you know, she was like 24 also. So it was like, I probably would have said something similar at 24, you know, like I being the same way. But yeah, so it's just like those kinds of things where it's like, just come up with kind of like whatever is your exit strategy. And I think like not like people just like are walking around like not as conscious about those things all the time, you know, to this, we're not always all hyper vigilant or just even vigilant about the same things. And I think that also helps. So like when we allow for a certain amount of grace for people to like make little mistakes like that, that not everybody is malicious. I will also say this, that like, because of your energy, like when you are somebody that really does like violently protect your peace or like does just emulate like being a peaceful person that can really guide people, you come across as the first drink of clear, purified water in a desert and a drought. And they're like, oh my God, like I've been looking for this person my whole life. And I'm like, you know, I can't believe that you see me that way and you see me so clearly. And I'm like, yeah, that's my job. Like, this is my job. Like, it is my job to do that. But that doesn't mean that we have to be best friends, right? Like, that doesn't mean that, like, because I would get no peace if everybody in my life that I've read for became my friend. I'm like, you know, I am this nice and I have peace because I'm actually an introvert that, like, can be social when I've had peace for 99% of the rest of the day. And so, and it's funny, right? Like, I own that. And so it's like, in that comes people being like, oh, like, damn, like, she actually knows herself and, like, she knows what she needs and she wants to, like, be the person that we enjoy. And I cannot be responsible for the mother wounds or the friend wounds or the people that have failed, even just that one person in their life. That's not my job, just as being one person. And so I think that's also a great lesson in teaching people, when you know yourself in a spiritual business, like, not outsmarting people of the lessons that they're supposed to learn. Because even maybe indirectly, by meaning well in those situations where we're not getting compensated for our work, there is ways that we outsmart people of the healing that they have to do, or how they can come to those things. Yeah, thank you, Claudia. In another way. Like, I do human design readings and I help people with their spiritual businesses, but I don't do, like, past life regression and nervous system regulation. You know, like, I know that there's other people that I can, you know, recommend for that, or other people that you may find that are the better person to help you get to those core issues. I love going deep with people, but there's certain things that, like, I just don't, you know, origin stories or limiting beliefs or soul ties, things like that are holding people back that, like, I don't care to unmuck. Like, there's, you know, most times I would say, I literally can only think of 2 people, in the last 5 years that have had a reading with me that were, like, not really ready for it. I do, Jay. Yeah, I have them on my website. It's brennakeely.com/readings. So I have some availability for this month, although more limited. I had a lot of people booked during Gemini season, so I'm thankful for that. But I do 30 minutes for $75 and 1 hour for $150. You guys get the recording, so you can ask me anything. But yeah, so I think that it's a really good lesson in your spiritual business too, to, like, really know that you don't have to cast a wide net for being available to solving everyone's spiritual problem. It's like, you don't go to a frozen yogurt shop asking for a cut of beef, right? So it's like knowing that, like, you're very clear on what you offer, and so that other people know what they can ask you for. And not having to be super worried. And this is coming from a manifesting generator. Yeah, Gemini season, happy birthday. I can't remember what your birthday is off the top of my head, Claudia. I'm sorry. My brain is starting to go down, after my readings today. Are you on a birthday trip? Maybe? Yes. Oh, happy birthday. I'm sorry. But happy birthday. Yes. Oh, the 4th. Oh, it was the 4th. Oh, happy belated. My numbers. Yes. Oh, happy 4th. I love that. Happy birthday. Everyone wish Claudia a happy birthday. There's also 13 people right now condensing down to a 4. So I love that. I love that for you. I love it for us. But yeah, just some word to the wise of spiritual businesses, things that I wish I could have outsmarted earlier. But it's interesting. Like, once I started really pursuing human design as a business, I also got a lot less people in real life, in, like, random places that really asked me to, like, work for free, essentially, or would, like, trauma dump on me in the middle of somewhere. And, you know, I have a couple people. There was a cousin that I've mentioned a couple times that was, like, I wouldn't say trauma dumping, but, like, obsessing over, like, I don't have any patience for, like, obsessing over a guy that clearly doesn't care about you. Like, I would rather be alone. Like, I don't have, yeah, absolutely. Oh, happy birthday. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Happy belated birthday, fellow Gemini sun. Yes. Yeah, I'm like, why do you care about this person? Like, you have a business to run. Like, I don't want to talk about this dusty man. But, you know, I respect that everyone else has their triggers, but I also respect that, like, I'm not available to talk about, like, what this guy that you've only known for a month is doing. Like, I don't have any interest in solving those types of problems, you know, unless I was, like, Dr. Orna on couples therapy, but, like, I'm not, like, I just have, I was like that at a point in time in my life, but like I've just outgrown that now. It's not the space that I'm in. And there are other people who, if I were to try to take that spot, you know, I'm outsmarting the people who actually want to solve those problems, because there are people who are dating and relationship coaches and like to talk to people about that kind of stuff, but I just am not like that, you know, and I don't, that doesn't mean that I can't have empathy, but I think it's more empathetic to be like, or more thoughtful to be like, oh yeah, I don't have space for that. Yes, exactly. Boundaries, baby. Exactly. It's so true. Again, know thyself. So I will leave you guys with that. Think about a way that you can set boundaries. It's funny. It's like, I'm thinking of the Ocean Alley song. That's like, it's all about confidence, baby. It's all about boundaries, baby. I'm sure somebody made a piece of content about that somewhere on the internet. But yeah, I'm going to make sure that I process this now. Tina, I have an email that will be coming your way this weekend, so I can connect you with my client, Z. And then Brenna, I have your Left Angle Cross of Dominion video that will be out this week at some point. I may do a shorter one for you on TikTok, because I think it'll be easier for me to get to that. I'll get to it sooner if I do it that way, versus YouTube. Tomorrow, thank you, Trick. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time and your support and your energy. Yeah, tomorrow, my projector video will come out for you guys later in the afternoon, early evening hours. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I thank you so much for pouring into me as I pour into you. I was happy to celebrate with the 6s for the 6/6 portal. And happy birthday, of course, Claudia. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys. Love to you all. This will be posted on YouTube. If you got a reading with me, I'll work on the timestamps. It takes a while to process and download. And I will see you guys next week. Have a good night.